Hey guys, Dennis here.
Kitty.
Muddy Water Search and Recovery. Welcome to the live stream. Joanne, Alex, how you all doing?
Hi, Alex. Hi, Joanne.
And I think we have a good lineup tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be joined here shortly by Ricky from Kansas Missing and Unsolved. Then we have a lot of stuff that we will be going over. And right before we go to the Randy Leach open discussion, Alex and his wife will be joining us live.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, me too.
What this live feed holds.
Hi, Mac, Brandon. Hi, guys.
So, guys, what say we go ahead and bring Ricky in? I'm excited for you guys to meet Ricky. Really awesome guy. They're doing really good things with Kansas Missing and Unsolved.
Absolutely.
So, Ricky, thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
And how long have you had Kansas Missing and Unsolved?
The 28th of last month was 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who has not watched one of their live feeds, you are missing out. These are incredible. The work they're doing is incredible. And the link to their Facebook page where I'll watch his live feeds from is down in the video description. So, Ricky, do you want to tell them what you all do over there?
Well, basically, when I started it started out as more or less a location for like the long-term unsolved missing and the long-term unsolved homicides. Now it's turning into making flyers just about every day, for people and for law enforcement and that kind of thing. And also, in addition to making flyers, of course, you see they get updated whenever I get, more information to add to it, I'll add to it. I did one last night where I wasn't able to get the height, the weight, the hair, and the eye color. And I managed to get Mom's email address, emailed her, and she got it to me. I did the flyer for the Wichita Police Department. This girl's missing out of Fort Worth, Texas, and they believe she's with an adult male that she met online in Wichita. So they're trying to find her in Wichita. But I didn't have her height, weight, or hair, or eye color, but I got it from her mom. So
good.
The flyers that you guys make are some of the most detailed flyers that I have seen out there.
I try. It's hard to. I mean, as you know, there's some where we just basically have their, here they are. They've been missing from this place since this date. Here's their age, height, weight, hair, and eye color. If you have any information, call this law enforcement agency, and that's all we have. Others, we have a lot of information. It's just whatever we can get our hands on.
It still does the job, though,
Oh, yeah.
So.
And then when we go in looking at these cases, oftentimes we use public information a lot when we're looking into these. And we've had many of them that there's just no information out there on. So it comes down to the flyers we're able to find to figure out where we want to go search for that individual.
Right.
And in fact, one of our cases, Kenny Riachek's case, we actually got that case off of watching one of your live podcasts.
Oh, okay.
And his case just kind of stuck out to us. And the more we looked into it, the better of a person he seemed to be. Just seems to be a really good person.
Yeah,
that's why it bothered me.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy. I saw him ride his bike around town. He never had a crossword to say to anybody. He talked to everybody.
Yeah.
So, there were people that kind of made fun of him and stuff, and kind of picked on him a little bit. And I don't know why they ever did it or felt the need to do that, because he's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
See, we will be out this June to do a search for Kenny. And if you want to do that.
Okay. Again, it's Kenny Riachek. Missing from
Riachek.
Oh, Riachek. Okay.
Yeah,
Excuse me. Missing from Salina, Kansas, since November 4th of 19. He 16. What is this?
60.
He was 69, right? Years old at the time of disappearance, 5'9", 175 pounds, gray hair, blue eyes. He may also use the name Kenny Brown. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. He suffers from diminished health I can never say this word, capabilities, there we go, and is on disability, but has not tried to access his funds since he was last seen. He's lived in Salina for years, may have family in Northwest Kansas, possibly around Colby, does not have a phone, vehicle, or ID. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, my understanding was he was evicted from his apartment, which was kind of catty corner from the police department here in town, and the police officer actually took him out to the Gospel Mission, which is homeless shelter for men. And apparently he was having issues with another resident there, so he opted not to stay there, and he left, and he hasn't been seen or heard from since.
So, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I've heard from so many people that knew him, and then seeing so many people commenting on your podcast that knew him, and everybody just had nothing but good to say about this guy.
Right.
And
any
missing person is heartbreaking, but when it comes, there's such a good person, it just hurts that much more.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, like I've talked about it on my podcast and stuff that I used to, as I was growing up when I was a teenager, I would run into him like at the corner gas stations, and he would be playing video games or playing pinball, mostly pinball. And I'd stand there and watch him and talk to him while he was playing pinball and stuff. So I'm familiar with him. I knew him on that level, but not real personally. But just from seeing him around and talking to him when I was like a teenager and stuff. So
do you think that
quite a number of years?
Do you think he would just get up and leave?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Would he get that upset that he just, you know what, I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm not coming back? You don't think he would?
I don't think he would have. I don't know. I mean, he's been known to stay in homeless camps and stuff before and stuff like that. And so I would have thought by now, we'd have heard something. I mean, especially after that real bitter cold winter that we had when it was like wind chills 20, almost 30 below. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, from what I've seen on this, he doesn't fit the profile of somebody that's just going to take off like that.
No. Yeah. No. I remember one apartment house that he had lived in over on Prescott. I remember seeing him out in front of there quite a bit when he lived there several years back, and that place actually, I believe, caught fire. And I think burned down because it's an empty lot now.
Oh, wow.
Goodness. No.
Several years back.
Yeah, I feel so bad because he is up there in age, and with the things he suffers from, it bothers me.
Right.
So
and they said that his bank accounts haven't been touched since he's went missing or anything like that. He had actually had two payees on the account that when he needed money, they would give him money. But I've been hearing that they weren't very good about making sure he had money. So what I was told was he would go around town pushing his bike and pick up scrap metal and take it over. It used to be called Salina Iron and Metal over on North Fifth. It's under a new name now, but he would sell that for extra cash over there. And I've talked to them over there, and they said they haven't seen him in quite a long time either. He hadn't been in for a long time.
Well, you can only hope for the best, but
saying we will be out in June. We will be doing everything we can to try to find him. And I will get you the date that we're going to be there sent over to you this week. Okay. And if you're available, come out.
No, I will. I'll take vacation days if I have to.
That's what I ended up doing at work.
Yet, so I can do that too. Yeah, I'd like to show you around, show you where the Gospel Mission is, and show you where they found that partial skull. Was it last year? I think it was last year before when they found that partial skull. Actually, just down the road from where I work is where they found it.
Oh, lovely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's also close to where Catherine Adam, who's missing from here in town, was also found really close to where she went missing from, just like not even half a block away.
Oh, lovely.
Salina seems to have a lot of missing people coming from there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah.
And guys, if you have not seen their podcast, the link is in the description to their Facebook page.
Yeah.
And isn't it every Saturday evening?
Well, we had to change it up because Derek wanted to change it up again. So we're going back to every other Tuesday and Thursday again. So like this week coming up Thursday, the next week Tuesday, the next week Thursday, the next week Tuesday.
Because guys, you do not want to miss their podcast. And yes, it's Kansas Missing and Unsolved, but they have cases from other states coming in as well.
Yeah.
And they do incredible work. You'll really enjoy their podcast on this.
Right.
Speaking of that, I'm waiting on more information from a lady that got a hold of me last night whose mom's missing from Dallas, Texas. So she's supposed to give me some more information tomorrow so I can get a flyer made. She said she was referred to me because I make flyers. I'm like,
oh. See, those flyers are worth something. I told you.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Same.
Okay.
Right.
Most of our cases,
I never tell anybody no that asks for a flyer. I don't ever tell anybody no.
Right.
Same. When I share flyers on our cases, I would say 90% of them, they have a flyer on it. So I use their flyer.
Yeah.
And they're just so detailed. The pictures on there too, and just incredible.
Yeah.
So, guys, you make sure you go over and check them out, and you won't regret it. Show them some love and support. It goes a very long ways. And when you see Derek and talk to Derek next, tell him we said hi.
I will do that.
Please.
You guys have been. You've been such an inspiration to us.
Goodness, yes.
And
absolutely.
Just you guys do incredible work over there.
Thank you. Matter of fact, on our last show we did this last Tuesday, I was talking about being on your guys' show tonight and told them the name of the YouTube channel and everything so they could hopefully people will drop by and say hi. And a couple did say they would.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen names in the comments yet, but I've been watching. But they did watch, so trying to get you some traffic over here.
We appreciate that.
Look at Bobby saying if Dennis would shave the mess off his chin, he'd look 20 years younger.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. Yep. Brandon says, anything new on Gina ciphers? Do we know?
I haven't. She's missing from here. Or no, she was murdered here in Salina. Actually, it's an unsolved murder here from Salina. I haven't heard anything new on her at all. It's still cold case. She was found murdered in the trailer home that she lived in, and my understanding was she was found murdered in whoever murdered her stuffed her in the closet. My understanding.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but the trailer court that happened in no longer even exists. It's a big vacant, empty lot now. So.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, if you heard that, nothing new has come up yet, bud.
Yeah, hopefully, Brandon, something will break soon.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if that new deck of cards that they're going to be distributing to the prisons and the detention centers, if they have her on there or not.
They do a what now? A deck of cards?
Yeah, it's a
what?
Yeah, other states have done these decks of cards where they have unsolved homicides and missing persons on them, and they distribute them within the prisons and the county jails in hopes to generate information on cases.
Oh.
Okay, they do have Gina ciphers in that deck. Okay, because I'm looking at the PDF of all the cards. They sent me the
PDF
so
of
the
cool.
cards. Because what they had done was it's the Kansas Department of Corrections that put it together, and one of the gals from there emailed or messaged me on Kansas Missing and asked me if I could give them a bunch of cases, recommendations on cases. So I sent her like 34 different flyers.
Oh, that is so cool. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, other states have been doing it for quite some time. This is the first time Kansas has ever done it. So, and I'm supposed to be getting a hard deck in a couple of months. They're going to send me a hard deck.
Nice.
So I'm waiting on that. She's going to let me know when the hard decks come out. So.
Right.
I could see that leading to a lot of tips on a lot of these cases.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys ever, let's see, what is it, 2018, I think it was. Yeah, it was the same year I got my hearing aids. 2018, I went to Kansas City. There was a group there. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called GYRL Girl. It's called Giving Yourself Real Love. And they're like a organization that helps with women that are in domestic violence situations and that kind of thing. The gal that runs that, her name's Roach Ellingson, and her son Brandon at the time was a Missouri representative. And they had a big to do over there that year, and they invited me to come over. So my ex-wife took me because my car's not that great. My ex-wife and my daughters went and stayed in a hotel and went the next day and everything, and or went that night and then stayed over and came home the next day. But they actually, for Kansas Missing and Unsolved, they gave me the Lifetime Achievement Award for the state of Missouri.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago. I have it hanging on my living room wall.
Nice.
Congratulations, and very much deserved.
That's right.
Yeah. Kansas hasn't followed suit yet, but
No. We're slow to go.
Yeah, we seem to be behind in a lot of things.
I mean, good things are happening. I mean, like the involvement with that deck of cards and stuff like that. And I mean, it's always. I mean, something's always happening. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember when I had a flyer up for her name was Bonnie Wood. She was a teenager that was missing. Remember? I had actually done that for, let's see, it was with Detective down in Wichita. Asked me if I would do that. And I did her flyer, and then a few days later she'd been found safe, like a few days later. And then a few days after that, I get a text letting me know that mom wanted to thank me for making the flyer for Bonnie and to let me know that flyer was directly responsible for her being found.
Isn't that amazing to hear? I love when that happens. Stories
I get
like
those
that.
periodically, not very often, but periodically I do. And I get those and I like those. It's just, it's like awesome.
Right? Absolutely.
It gives you that confirmation that what you're doing is working.
Right.
Yeah. Because I'll admit there are been times in the past where, I kind of get down a little bit and it's like, does what I do really help? And then stuff like that happens and like, okay. It's like, okay, God, you're letting me know what I need.
Yeah. Because I know I've felt that sometimes. I'm sure you have at times. So we hear you on that.
Yeah.
It takes one phone call or one message from a family member and it's all worth it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's been other things like there was this kid, he was missing from Pittsburgh, Kansas, and I can't remember how long he had been missing, but out of the blue one day I get a message from a guy that says, I found one of your kids, and that's all he said. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just kind of blew it off because I was like, okay, there was nothing, just that. That's all it said. And then I think a few days went by and I get another message from him. And it's in this one, he sent a picture of himself with the kid and the kid holding up the flyer. And I'm like, okay. Apparently this guy, he has an organization that he does where he works with homeless people around the country, and he just happened to be in Los Angeles, and he found the kid in Los Angeles, and the kid had been sleeping on the steps of a church there in Los Angeles, and apparently was cited for vagrancy a couple of times, but they never bothered to run a background to see that he was actually missing out of Kansas.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So this guy, he helped him get back to Kansas, apparently, because not long after that, I got another picture of him reunited with his parents. And and a message saying that he wanted to go into the military and had done that. So the last time he was in the military.
That's awesome.
So,
great story. Love those.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I can tell you about watching what you guys do. Don't ever doubt it. You guys are making a huge difference out there.
Yeah. Little by little or whatever. I mean, it's amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, you've seen where I've shared Faith Hoppins's flyers over the last however many times she's been missing, but I actually got a message that her younger sister Essence had been missing and asked if I would do a flyer for that. And the profile that I got the message from didn't really click a bell right away until I looked at the profile, and it was actually Faith asking me to do the flyer for her younger sister.
Oh, geez. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And since then, Essence has been found and gone missing again, and Faith got a hold of me again and said, hey, we do another one? Yeah, sure. So
those are the ones you kind of go, okay, but you also go, what is going on here?
Yeah, because, I mean, Faith, she's not missing anymore. She's back where she needs to be, and hopefully this is getting her to straighten up some and, do the right thing and stay on the right path, hopefully.
Right.
Yeah.
And we all have a rebellious side as kids.
Yeah. And I told her while I was messaging her, and I told her I hope she was doing better and everything was going well for her, and seems to be. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Mm.
And do any of y'all have any questions you'd like to send over to Ricky? Go ahead and get those commented on here.
Because it looks like, did Craig say something about a drone, or who posted that about the thermal drone?
That would have been Randy.
Randy.
I'm about to purchase
Yeah.
a thermal drone. Is that something that could help? Absolutely.
I've never heard
Yeah,
of
Randy,
it.
we're
And
I'll tell you about thermal.
oh yeah, thermal drone. Is that something that could help? I live in Kansas City. Absolutely.
And as Bobby says, an infrared on the camera, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Infrared, you could actually detect
Yeah.
ground disturbance with an infrared camera.
Wow.
And the thermal drone would be more for night. You're going to pick up heat signatures.
Perfect. We'll take it. New comments down there. Okay.
I'm still trying to get used to going through StreamYard on this.
Well, Greg just said
Yeah.
infrared.
Yeah,
is
infrared
the same
isn't
as
this.
thermal.
No, it's not.
That's what me and Derek use a StreamYard too.
Saying I like it. It's just trying to get used to it. We would do all of our stuff straight onto YouTube.
Yeah.
So this is a bit different.
But it's amazing because we get to talk with amazing people. So
That's how I got my background up behind me on my green screens, because it's on StreamYard.
oh.
You can see the Kansas Missing Unsolved back there.
Yeah. Hey, you guys' graphics on your podcasts are second to none as well.
Brandon actually made that one.
Man.
You guys do a hell of a job.
Yeah, Brandon does most of that stuff. I mean, the flyer graphics and the page graphics I did, but I mean, the main graphic on the cover photo for Kansas Missing, I had help with from a gal that used to work with me that's not with me anymore, but Stacy, she used to do that stuff to help me out. I made the center part, but she made everything around it. So
Goodness.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was a little more well versed with graphics and stuff, but that's okay.
It gets the point across.
Yeah, and the flyers do the job. So
Absolutely, yeah.
I talked about years back, kind of changing the design of the flyers, and people are like, "No, don't." They're good just the way they are. Don't change a thing. I'm like, okay, I won't change anything. I won't change it. The only thing I've done is I changed the little corner logo to the new logo up in the left corner of the flyer. But other than that, that's the only thing I've changed.
See, it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon made the logo. And I thought I'm going to put that on the flyer. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you may have to click a different visual setting, though. What does it say? Because we only see half of you, Dennis and Mrs. Dennis. Chrissy. It's Chrissy, honey.
There you go.
Mrs. Dennis is
there we go.
other
Yeah, Mrs. Dennis is dealing with kiddos, but
yeah, there's different little settings you can change.
Oh, yeah, there.
Yeah, do that.
There we are.
There we go.
There we go.
That one's better. I almost scared
All
myself.
trying
Pull me
to
up
get
big on the
used
screen
to
like that. There you go. True Crime with Psychic Goddess. I've never heard of her before.
We love her. She's been following us for quite a while now, and she's
very helpful.
I mean, every now and then she'll do it, like she can do the reading or something, and we love her.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I don't know if you mentioned it, but yeah, we just did finally get the website launched. It's www.kansasmissingunsolved.com, or you can go. I think he said you can also get to kmupod.com as well. It's still the same website, either or.
We do have the link to that down in the video description. So guys, make sure you check that out as well.
Yeah, it's got different resources on there for, like, if you're a runaway wanting to get back home, there's the National Runaway Hotline, Human Trafficking Hotline, Domestic Violence Hotline. I'm trying to remember what else we had on there on the resource page. There's a few others. I can't remember them all right now, but we have that, and we have some of the older missing persons cases flyers and some locateds on there that we put up on there, and there's brief little snippets about each one of us on there and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going through that yesterday, and I love that website.
Yeah. Something I've been wanting for a long, long time, but couldn't afford to do myself. So. But yeah,
They get expensive.
Oh yeah.
Derek's actually taking care of all that stuff. So I just take care of the page. He does the rest.
Well, you got a solid team over there.
Yeah.
I really enjoy watching you guys, everything you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And guys, don't miss out. Make sure to click on their links down there. Go over and give them some support.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
They're amazing.
Appreciate it. Yeah. And like I said, I tried to get you guys some viewers and stuff over this way too. So hopefully we got some in there. I haven't seen anybody say hi or anything yet, but I was hoping to see some, but hopefully they're at least watching. So that'd be good.
Oh
yeah.
So yeah, and then after this live's done and it goes to where it's just actual video where you can rewatch it, I'll link this over on Kansas Missing and Unsolved too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And thank you very much for joining us over here on tonight. And you ever want to join again on a live feed over here, just let me know. We'll bring you back on.
Yeah, and I want to get you guys on Kansas Missing here pretty soon too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Get you some time over there too.
How we've got what we call our normal viewers who comment back and forth with us a lot. Right. They have the same thing going on over there.
Oh yeah. Nice.
And guys, they also they also respond to any comments that come across there. They don't leave it hanging. Right. They communicate with you throughout. Just incredible over there. So be sure to check them out.
Yes, please, guys. They're amazing.
Oh yeah, we try.
But we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, and one of the gals that watches us, she apparently is the goddaughter of Loretta Lynn. And,
you're kidding!
And she's been her and I message quite frequently, just about every other night or so we message. And she told me she was quiet on the show one night. Usually she's more active talking, but she said she was quiet because she was talking to Loretta on the phone, and Loretta asked her what she was doing, and she told her. So apparently Loretta popped in on the podcast under an assumed name. I don't have any idea what the name was. She popped in under another alias and kind of watched the show for a bit.
That is so cool. Oh my goodness.
And I was like, oh wow. I thought that was really cool.
I wouldn't know what to do if I found that out. Ooh.
She knows who you are now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh boy.
Right. Oh,
and I see the Psychic Goddess is asking, do I have a YouTube or just... No, we do have a YouTube. It's under my name, Ricky Tabreggi - Kansas Missing and Unsolved is what it's under.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll try to get a link to that put over in the description after it wraps up as well.
Yeah. When we do the podcast, we try to simulcast it with YouTube, Facebook, and there's another Facebook page he usually runs it on too. He's been bouncing a couple other ones.
Yeah. Now, looks like Brandon just asked you a question there. Are you familiar with the Randy Leach case? What is your theory on what happened to him?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I've been following it for some time, and I was really hoping when Adventures with Purpose was out there digging around, they would find something out, but they didn't find anything out. And my understanding is they said they weren't going to go back because it was too dangerous, is what somebody had commented on one of our shows, and I'm just like, I missed that one.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, so there's some, they're talking about how he was apparently drinking at the party and stuff like that. And they thought maybe, being that he was drunk, maybe he tried driving, drove off in a river or something. And of course, then there's been other rumors talking about some guy went into a cave and there was a man's body hanging there. And supposedly the guy said it looked like Randy or whatever. But that cave's been supposedly filled in since then. So I don't know. There's just so much crap that's been said about it. I mean, I don't know what theory I believe. I tend to lean toward the going into the water more than anything, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
I mean, have you ever dealt with a case that is as old as Randy's? 34 years?
Well, the only one that I actually I wasn't directly involved in it, but there was a guy that went missing from Fort Riley back in 1956, and he was actually stationed on base, went missing. And I had his flyer up on the page and everything, and I got contacted by a guy that said he was his grandson up in Canada, and that the guy had been living in Canada all these years, and he had recently passed away, and so they thought, let's go ahead and close this thing. So they got the FBI involved in everything, did DNA, and confirmed that it was indeed him, but he had been living another life in
Oh
Canada.
my goodness.
Kids, grandkids, the whole work. And I asked his grandson if he had a recent picture of him, and he sent me a recent picture and compared it with the old one. Of course, you could tell, even though he'd aged, it's still the same guy. So I mean,
wow.
Yeah. So I thought that one was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I have to say that picture sometimes I still have. I never delete anything off my computer except for when my laptop crashed. I lost some stuff, but luckily I backed some of it up as much as I could. But
yeah, I definitely like to see that picture. My goodness.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Wow. What
it's on the Facebook page
I know.
too. It's on the Facebook page. You kind of have to click on photos, but it's in there.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Because I forgot I posted it, but I did. I
And
think I
then-
posted the current one with the flyer and everything, but yeah. I mean, I have no I don't know why the grandson never said why he did what he did or anything like that. Just that he'd been living happily up in Canada all them years.
Maybe just decided he was done. I'm done. I'm going home.
I guess. I don't know if he's tired of military life or what.
Yeah. Being ex-military, well, my ex-husband military, it's not for everybody. I will tell you that much.
Yeah.
True crime. She asked, "Does Ricky know about the Springfield 3?"
Yeah, recently we just did a pre-record episode for Springfield 3 because there was so much to cover. We decided to do it as a pre-record and post it as a recorded. But yeah, that was quite an extensive case to cover. My brother actually did the script for it for me. So
right.
He was actually in the news game for a while, so he's got a good hand at writing. So I had him do the scripting.
Right.
And guys, when you check them out, make sure you watch that video because that was a very good video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of information, and there's a lot of speculation that they're buried under that parking garage, and
yes,
I can't think of the guy's name, but he went in there with that radar thing and found 3 anomalies, but they said, "Oh, that's not enough to dig it up," and I'm just like, they should have just dug it up anyway to put it to rest.
Yes, that's what I said.
One way or another,
Right.
Whether they're there or not, and of course, there's the guy that I guess I think he's in prison in Texas. I think that made the comment that he knew they were dead for sure and all this other stuff, and then said that he would reveal more after his mom passed away. And
that's right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, as far as I know,
that
hasn't happened yet. So, because I haven't heard any more on it, but
right, but that's not spooky.
Very strange case, though.
Right.
Yes.
Very strange case.
But
some people were trying to.
We should be down in the Springfield area later this year that we'll be doing a couple searches while we're down there on that case.
Yeah. Some folks are trying to tie that case to, I can't remember her name, the one that they had found dead down there and they had the 2 guys arrested that had, I think, murdered her, dismembered her or whatever. I can't think
Was
of her
that
name.
the one in Dallas County that moved over into Laclede County?
Yeah. They were thinking people were saying, "Oh, there's a van on the property that looks just like the van they were looking for," but it wasn't. No, it didn't. It wasn't the one they were looking for. But it was just an old van sitting there, but wasn't the right one. So,
goodness,
I thought that was interesting. They went back to search the place and they found tripwires and everything all over the property.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Okay.
And that wasn't far from where my mom and them live right now, where I moved up here from.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah.
What are they doing down there?
Yeah. Probably don't want to know.
I hear you.
Well, Ricky, we really appreciate you coming on. We enjoy what you do. Keep up the good work. We love you. Can't get enough of you.
Appreciate that.
It's a huge inspiration to us, to many others. There's been several that's reached out to us that had actually mentioned you guys in your podcast and flyers. And this is people from other states.
Yeah.
I know there's a person from Denmark that follows you guys.
Denmark.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Speaks highly of y'all.
Yeah.
So you are definitely getting out there.
Yeah.
I see Brandon saying thanks, Ricky. You're welcome, Brandon. The one thing I've always tried to make sure that try to get to come through with the page is that you don't have to look for anything in return to help somebody. If somebody says, "Hey, can you help me?" Just do it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about asking for anything in return or wanting anything in return. I've had many people offer to pay me for what I do or want to donate to what I do, and it's like, nope. I mean, we do have a Patreon set up now to try to help a little bit with costs, but I mean, it's not doing very well at all, which is fine. But I mean, I never will ever ask any family, of a missing person or a family that has an unsolved, victim of an unsolved homicide for any kind of money. I've heard of other missing persons people in the past that have done that. There's like, oh, well, we want this and this and this. And there's even some that I've heard about that we're going to go help search for a missing person. But they wanted their hotel paid for it front and all this other stuff before they would do it. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, any reward that we would get if we solve it, whatever, it doesn't go to us. I mean, eventually it will, but the brunt of it goes to the family to properly bury their family member.
Right.
Or any kind of expenses they may need in that area. So it's not about the money for us. No. It's about the same as what you think. We just want to help somebody.
And we would never take money from a family we're trying to help.
No.
They are going through enough how it is without trying to take care of you to come in to help them. And
yeah. I was looking at Ponytail logging along. She said I ran in the gas station, so I missed if you answered her question. And I scrolled up because I was trying to see it too. And it says, "Where all have you been looking when you've been out recently? I hadn't heard anything."
Was that? That's probably for us.
Yeah.
About Randy. Yeah, that's probably for the Randy case.
It might be.
Yeah. We were out yesterday, but the water was so high and the current so strong, we just could not access it.
Yeah, we had the storms move through here last night, so.
Oh yeah, we had them here about 5-6 o'clock this morning. Yeah.
Freaking one of my dogs out so bad that he woke my daughter up, which in turn woke me up because my daughter kept waking me up saying, "He won't settle down. He keeps waking me." I'm like, sorry. He hates storms. He hates fireworks.
Poor puppy.
Sounds like
I told her. I told her. I said, I was surprised he woke her up because usually he'll get up in bed and start looking me in the face and waking me up. So he didn't do it though. So I didn't have any idea what was even going on.
See, we have a border collie. He'll jump right in between us and he'll just plop over on one of us.
Oh, wow.
He's an adorable dog, though. Very loving dog.
Yeah, I'm dreading 4th of July again because when 4th of July comes around, oh, brother.
Yeah.
Up here where I live, sounds like a war zone. And he hates it. Oh, he hates it.
Yeah. Well, do you have any other questions for Ricky?
Nope. Just keep doing what you guys do because it is making a difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and explaining some stuff. And like I said, we love you. Keep up the good work. You're awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And open invite. You're welcome back on here anytime.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll have to do it again. Like I said, I'll have to have you guys over on Kansas Missing too, and I'll get with you and Derek on that and see when we want to do that. But I want to do it, definitely. I know I've been saying it, but I definitely want to do it.
Well, you're one of those. Yeah, we'll get together,
Yeah.
There's so much that you want to do, but there's so much going on. It's just finding the time.
That's the bad part.
I mean, there's my 40-hour-a-week job I do, and then my 17-year-old special needs daughter lives with me, so I have to take care of her and all her appointments and stuff, and then do Kansas Missing and Unsolved, and take care of my dogs, and I mean, it's just
you're busy. Absolutely.
This man is busier than me.
Yeah.
This was my weekend off from work, and I decided, well, I'm gonna go full court press on this apartment this weekend and start doing some serious cleaning because I'm getting a little behind. I'm getting caught up. I made a huge dent this weekend, so
Good.
Just not enough time in the day.
I'm telling you, never feels like it.
Yeah.
Well,
I used to joke around. I'm gonna have to go back to work just so I can relax.
Right? Oh my goodness.
Don't let my boss here say that, but yeah.
Yeah. Hush, everybody. Keep it quiet. Shh.
Yeah.
See, I gotta be quiet. My boss does jump on and watch me sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if mine does or not. She never has said, so I don't know.
See, Nick, if you're watching this, I love my job. You're a good boss. I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning.
Yeah. True Crime Goddess says the same thing. My house too much to do, not enough time.
Yeah,
Amen.
not enough
Amen
time.
to that.
Absolutely.
Amen to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's it, we'll let you go, Ricky, so you can get back to what you need to do. You good?
All right.
All right. Again, we appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You're welcome. You guys have a good night. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
Wow, that was awesome.
And guys, again, the link to his Facebook page and to his website is in the video description. And we will be adding the link to his YouTube account as well. Definitely check them out.
Oh, yeah.
They are amazing. And they don't normally go out and do the searches. They do the flyers, get the word out on this.
They do the hard part,
They
honestly.
do the hard part.
Absolutely. And they're amazing. So
and they're one of my favorite teams to watch.
Right. Here, you can come this way.
Definite top of the list.
It's all right. It's just Megan. She's trying to figure out how to get through here. We've made a mess in here. There we go.
And thank you guys for jumping on here tonight. And everything, all the comments, the discussions.
Look what True Crime just said, though. I wish I could leave my door wide open like that. Yeah. But she said, I want to say that a lot of my true crime readings have been accurate. I stated the exact day Brandon Laundrie would be found and exactly how he died before anything was released. I say this to say, yeah, you've been pretty spot on, hon. Oh, this is in capital letters. I keep seeing a super high possibility of you bringing Randy home. Thank you. That's exactly, yeah. Oh, well, hello, Ricky. You're still there, huh?
In True Crime, we are doing everything we can on this and will not give up until he is found.
She said, every time I look, I see it. So we're trying, honey. We're hanging in there. Well, hello, Miss Leanne.
And as I was saying with Ricky, in June, I'm going to be in Salina, Kansas, looking for Kenny Riachek. And it looks now that in August, we will likely be in Nebraska, and we'll be doing some searches while we are there as well.
And you did that? Yeah. No. Okay. You want me to cross it off?
Yeah.
Cross it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we wanted to do a few quick recaps on a few of the other cases, do some updates. Megan's got some stuff. And then we'll be bringing on Alex and his wife, and then going into the Randy Leach discussion. Star Boomer.
Hey, Sam, Samantha.
You've heard me mention Star many times. I grew up with her family, missing out of Kansas City, Kansas since February 23rd of 1999. This is one of the cases that I have to wait on ground penetrating radar. We do believe we had a possible area, a probable area on this based off of past talking with her family. So as soon as we're able to get ground penetrating radar, hopefully we will be able to bring Star home.
Now, before we go any further, I want you to look at TC Spotlight. This has been so refreshing to watch, y'all. Thank you. I shared to my community page. If you ever felt up to a Q&A about the searches you do, I would love to have you. That is, okay, I got to write that down.
And I love TC Spotlight. Yes. They are amazing people as well.
Yes.
And if you haven't checked them out, make sure you do. And I don't have the link to throw on here right now, but TC Spotlight, if you have the link, please feel free to put that in the comments.
There we go. I wrote that down. We'll deal with this.
So at this point, Megan.
She's looking at us like, what?
See, Megan thought she was going to be out in front of the camera since she stepped back to focus on Crooked Trail Designs. Tonight is an exception.
Yay! I'm more excited than she is. Yay! All right, give us 1 second while we get set up here. All right. Oh, you ready? Is it on? I guess.
You're live.
You're live, honey bunny. I'll help if you need it.
Okay.
This is good.
So,
Yeah.
I
guess I can't see.
They're really little.
I'm blind.
They're really little. Can you lift that up a little bit? Like, put it up here so they can get a better look. There we go.
We're blind here.
There we go. That's okay.
Okay.
Say hi,
Hi,
Brantley.
guys.
Wait, bud. There we go.
I have my little helper
Yes.
with me today.
Helper, so you don't even need me.
My little helper.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll back up
You're
then.
my big helper.
Okay, fine.
Like I said, I stepped back so I could focus on my little business here. But of course, Denny had to bring me back in. But I just wanted to show you some of the new things I've been working on. So, yeah.
Okay.
Everything I have here is not on my. I'm glad you love it, Leanne. Thank you so much for that purchase. I really appreciated it. The items I have here are not on my Etsy account yet, but they should be on there by the end of the week. Like I said, this is just stuff I've made recently, so I figured I'd get on here and show it off. But hi, Bobby. Say hi. Say hi, Bobby. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna have Chrissy hand me the things since she's closer to the camera. So
Okay.
I guess I could start with these.
Yep.
I said that yeah.
Right in the eyeballs. That's okay.
Yeah.
They don't need to see it.
Yeah.
Just the stuff they're selling.
Some of the things I make, as you know, are keychains. So I have some new designs. I have where's the camera? There's the camera. I have my different shot shells. Yes, please.
I'm sorry.
Me. I have little beaded ones that have sayings on them. This one says beautiful and it's beaded. I started to bring out my fishing blades and that kind of stuff. So here's one of the keychains I have made recently.
Guys, she's got tons of these.
I keep going this way. The camera's over here.
Yeah, she has tons of these.
Here's one with my blade. And then I've made these little key rings. This one, I did it again. This one has a little deer and it's like camouflage type stuff.
Oh, I like that.
And then I have this one I just made recently. I know I keep doing that.
You made that to a key ring?
Yeah, it's a key ring.
Oh, okay.
It's a little leather cow tag keychain. But I have,
And mind you, they're so tiny.
Yeah.
But they're so pretty.
I have a bunch of these.
And those are her chokers.
Yes.
But, I mean, I'm sure she could pick a pattern for you guys that you would like. I don't know if you could see that, but.
At the time being, I'm still trying to get everything set up, so I'm not doing custom yet.
But eventually.
Yeah, I will.
I'm sorry.
Just scooting them on over. Like, here's another one I've made recently. It's kind of hard to see.
Well, what do you want me to do?
No, it's nothing.
Okay.
It's just they're so small.
Wait.
TC Spotlight. Yes, I do make all of these myself.
Yes, all by hand. She's amazing.
It's like, here's some more chokers that I've made. This one is more guy oriented. It's got I've got the blade and the hook. I mean, it's unisex. It could be anywhere, any of them.
Those are her fun and cute ones.
Yeah.
They're pretty.
Here's some more stuff I've made. Just little charms. What? Yeah. Bring it over. Okay. Hold it up here.
Ooh, this one's a fancy one.
Here's just a little like Southwestern set I've made.
You got your bullets.
And then these are the the shot shell ones with little turquoise.
Bracelets.
Whole bunch of bracelets.
First time I'm looking at them, I'm like, hey, I want that one and that one and that one.
Yeah, like here's some more of my fishing blades.
Some more bracelets.
Yep, some more bracelets. These are, most of these are ankle bracelets.
Yeah, I was going to say, these are your ankle bracelets.
Yeah, these couple are bracelets,
Yeah.
but the rest are ankle bracelets.
And I mean, they're really pretty stones. So if you get a chance to look on the website, and a lot of them, like, I want to say, which ones are the ones that you have like 6 or 7 different colors of one?
I don't have those out here. None of these are on the
Yeah.
website yet.
Oh, no. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Get with it, Chrissy. Jeez. But yeah, I mean, look at this one. Look at all those beads. So pretty.
Oh, and here's just another little bracelet, beaded earth tone. Oh, crap, and I dropped it. Oh,
What do we do?
okay.
Okay. And now the big one is the earrings.
And here's my millions of earrings that I've made. I've got all sorts of different ones.
I mean, she's got feathers. She's got cow tags again. We got some patriotic. She's got a lot of turquoise, which I love. Just all sorts of pretty ones. Here's the other one, Meg.
Ow, pinch my finger. Here's just a bunch of other things that I've made.
And these are,
sorry, they're kind of hard to see, but
yeah, you got the Browning deer head there.
yeah.
More cow. I mean, these are little dream cow. I mean, she's got all sorts of them, guys. And these are all handmade by her.
Yeah, like I said, this is what I do now to focus on. And yes, girls fish too. They do.
Yep. That'd be a good one
We
to
all
do.
do it.
That'd be a good one to say.
And Samantha says, my son loves hunting and fishing, and I love fishing, so I'll have to buy some stuff. Okay, that's
Thank you.
awesome. And I got gorgeous.
What are we saying?
And there comes the earring. TC Spotlight likes my earrings. I love that teal looking one with, I think it was a rose and it was a bar dangle. Jewelry is my weakness. Well, I have a bunch of them.
Yep. Check her website out, guys. It's amazing.
Okay, so you teach.
It's in the video description.
No, this. Yep. The links to my page will be in the description and everything, so if you want to look at that. And then Denny passed.
They're passing notes.
Oh, and the note that I couldn't read, sorry. 50% of my proceeds go to Muddy Water Search and Recovery. So, yeah, so buying from me helps the whole big picture here.
Yeah, she doesn't see any profit whatsoever. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Okay, but yeah, that's just my little spiel that I wanted to share with you guys. So
Slowly but surely, her Etsy page is going to take off. It's amazing what she has on there now. I mean, you should have seen the excitement come out of her when it finally got put on Etsy and it was ready to go. I don't think I've ever seen you smile that big in my life.
I was excited.
You talk about an excited woman. I tell you, it was amazing to see that smile. So
When I come up to do the live, bring the box, the whole box. I've got plenty.
Oh, she's got. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Tell them bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
So, yeah. Tons of stuff for you guys to check out. So, a minute while we get it back. There we are.
Hey, Catfish wants to know if you're ready to go fishing.
He's talking to you, Brantley. He can't hear
He
that.
gave a thumbs up.
You ready to go? Tell him yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So, guys, we're going to talk about this new channel that we are planning on getting going here pretty soon. Now, if you missed it last time, Mystery, Adventures, and Historical Places. It will air July 1st, correct?
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about what's going to be going on with that channel. It was kind of my idea. but Denny and I have been discussing this, and it's something we're just loving. And it talks about paranormal activity. It talks about historical places. What else? I mean, there's so much with it. It's not even. I mean,
catfish. Yeah. It's going to have hunting and fishing episodes.
It will. We did mention Molly's Hollow the last time. That was the one we wanted to just give you a sneak peek about. But we also have an exciting one we want to do. And Denny's over here. You can see his smile already before I even got to it. We're going to do an episode about Jesse James. There it is. There's that smile. So, and we're both, we're both history nuts. We love Jesse James. We love the Western, and I'm super excited. So,
see, we get to visit historic places that has ties to Jesse James. We'll be speaking with historians.
Yes.
We will, there's
taking
a lot
trip.
of things going with that.
I mean, we're gonna, I am so excited. I can't wait. But, and this is kind of a new thing for me. I'm not, paranormal and stuff like that has always bothered me a little bit. It's kind of, I can't watch it at night kind of thing because I'm a big sissy. But we're going to try and do most of these in the daytime, depending on work and whatnot. But we will do some at night. But we want you guys to get the history of what it is before we do any activity. So I am so looking forward to this. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, because most of these episodes, like Jesse James, it's going to break down to a miniseries, just because there's so much going into those.
Yeah. So
Molly's Hollow, we did find out that they did cut the tree down.
Yeah, that was kind of heartbreaking.
But we will still be visiting.
Right, and in case you missed that, Molly's Hollow, that is in Atchison, Kansas. What they depict, they did. What's the story? You get it better than I do.
There's multiple stories, but the most well-known story was back in the time frame when segregation was still kind of a thing. There was a white guy and a black lady dating, and it did not go over well, so they ended up hanging her out there.
Yeah. We're not 100% on the time frame yet, but we don't know if it was the 1800s or, whatever it may be. I mean, it's still a bad time frame for any of that. But they say that there's, people have seen her ghost hanging from a tree. They've heard moans. They've heard, fogs and smoke that roll in out of nowhere. I mean, it's a pretty, I'm waiting for this one. So absolutely.
We can't wait to bring you guys along on those as well. But July 1st, the very first episode will air. We will be releasing the link about a week prior to that. Yeah.
But I'm super excited. We still have a lot to do to get caught up, but I am super excited about that new channel. So again, mysteries, adventures, and historical places. So,
and we also want to bring up again, this is in no way replacing search and recovery.
Gosh, no.
This is stuff that a lot of our searches where we're going to be searching isn't far from an area we will be filming. So we will be doing both. And it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if you guys by chance, and I know it's early, but if you know of anything because of right now, it's just Kansas kind of until we figure out what we're doing. If you know of any cases that's related to kind of what we're doing, please let us know so we can check them out. That way we can just check out the history of it and the story behind it and see if we can't get some footage. So anyway.
And we're going to have to get Catfish Bob involved in a fishing episode.
And, it's not just, we're also, now Bobby, behave yourself. Bigfoot and that kind of, those kind of things. Lore, folk lore. I got that right.
And Leanne, we definitely want to meet up with you, and we will get with you to schedule a time to get that done.
But all sorts of weird and creepy things we're going to check out in Kansas. Anyway, done with that.
Dennis knows what I catch. Catfish catches monster catfish. And on this channel, some of our upcoming videos, we have 5 recap videos, 2 new case layout videos. That's going to be Courtney Cash, and it's going to be Skeeter Bishop and Lloyd Folsom.
We're doing a Aaron Key recap, Alonzo Brooks recap, May Millette recap. And then the Alex Van Das. How do you say his last name again?
Van Dowson.
Oh, please. My goodness. I cannot believe I forgot how to say that. Oh, my goodness. We're going to do all of these. And if you remember about the Alex case, we did that reenactment. So that's, let's see where I'm, but yeah, there's a place around here, my old stomping grounds. A train hit a bus of kids, sadly, but now they say if you park your car and put powder on your bumper, they will push the car off and you can see it. There is also another story in, I think it's San Antonio. Train was involved, blah, blah, blah. You put your car in neutral over a certain spot on the tracks. You put powder on it and you can literally feel your car being pushed. And when you get out, there's little handprints on the back of the car. I know of that story, but that, yeah. Ugh. So,
And
yeah.
another video that is in the works right now for search and recovery is another Randy Leach video.
Yeah.
Where we literally go back to the very beginning and walk through from the beginning to today.
Yeah.
And we will give you all an update a few days before that releases. We still have a lot of work to do on that episode, but we hope to have that out soon. And I mentioned when we were speaking with Ricky, Christy and I went out yesterday to do a search on Randy Leach, but the water, after all that rain, water was extremely high.
Yeah, I was kind of upset when I saw it too, because I thought, son of a gun. But we got some pretty good views of where we were, and I think we're good to go come summertime.
Yeah.
So.
Because this is a location that we already know we're going to get wet. We're going to have to get in, and there was no way we could risk getting into it with the current that strong.
Nope.
So we will definitely be back on that. We've got other Randy Leach searches: Crystal Kipper, Justin Seawick, Billy Mary Black. In June, Kenny Riachek. In August, up in Nebraska. It looks like we will be searching for Chance Engelbert while we're there. And I'm hoping to be able to go across and search for Linda Dillard while we're there.
Right. I mean, we got a full plate, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
So, but Bobby, I sent Dennis some pics of my little blue catfish. And the smallest I sent him was, geez, Bobby. Yeah. Goodness gracious.
He catches monster catfish out there.
I don't think those are fish. I think those are creatures out of the ocean. Goodness.
And here in just a few minutes, we're going to have Alex and his wife, Tammy, joining us, going into the Randy Leach Open discussion.
Yep. See if we can't get...
So, guys, I sent you guys the link to join up, so you guys can go ahead and get that going.
Yep.
We had met up with Alex and Tammy. I've met with them twice in person now. Yeah. We talk on the phone all the time. Really great people. I think you're going to enjoy hearing from them tonight.
So much information and just their take on it. It's great. So.
And just they've got their whole hearts in this.
Oh my goodness. That ain't even the word for it.
And just incredible people.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go ahead?
Make sure that your things are still on.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and maybe text them, let them know that we're ready?
Leanne's nephew has a catfish at Cabela's.
Hey.
So that is Brantley's favorite store.
Oh, yeah.
We get him there. First thing we got to do is go look in the aquariums, and that boy never wants to leave that store.
I know. Why can't I get this to go back in? Just 1 second, guys. We're trying to get a hold of Alex and Tammy here.
So I know they were up really late last night. He was burning a lot of brush. And I know that because we were on the phone till almost 4 this
Yeah,
morning.
that's what Megan said. Oh. We're trying, guys. We're trying. That is right. Where is Jen? Jen, you're in big trouble.
Okay, let's see here.
His isn't working.
Yeah, so I get it reset.
Okay. Just a second, Tammy and Alex. We're getting there. Okay. Any locals with a brush hog, I'm hiring. Get it out there, people. There we go. Oh.
See, Alex might actually have a brush.
Yeah, I was going to say, Alex might have one.
Say, Jen, when Jen joined us live on that live feed and shared those maps and stuff.
Goodness. She's another one that's unbelievable. So.
Okay, the first link didn't work. I resent it, so he's trying it now.
Yeah. Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So they just pop up on here?
Yeah, they'll pop up right down here.
The sunset right now is beautiful. I'm outside. Oh, is it? Is it tonight the blood moon?
We should have done this on the porch.
Yeah.
I have to remember that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was amazing with the mats.
Oh. Yeah, they're having difficulty on their end here. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Had a good weekend.
Oh, I bet he was getting that.
Yes. That is right. I was right. Tonight is the blood moon. We're getting there, guys. Sorry.
One gotta go for that.
We already did. Doing it again. Yeah, we've already done this before.
I'll wait for him.
Yeah. Let him talk about that yet.
Okay, they might not be able to. It's not working on mobile.
I'll have to.
And Catfish, no, I haven't been able to just yet. I'll be getting a hold of him this week.
Oh, lovely.
Kind of funny.
Great. Leanne says this morning was a little shocking when the sapling started going in circles. Did the mouse bad?
Never had issues before.
But we're having all sorts of difficulties right now. Whew.
And Craig says I have to try that, but we don't have any on the west end of Kansas blue catfish.
And ponytail, Dennis, you call that guy with the new number.
Yeah, I'll be calling that this week. And Craig, there is some monster blue cats in the Missouri and the Kansas River. You'll need to come up and fish for those.
He replied to you. That's why they're trying to do it through their phone.
Okay, they're having some issues, so let's see here. I'm going to send it to Tammy
Okay.
and see if she can. So Randy Leach, we have been, I can't send it off there, so let me.
I bet there is. I would love to come out that way and do some fishing.
See, there's some nice ones in there.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got it sent to her. Do they use Edge? I know some have to copy the link that props up and put it in Chrome.
Oh.
While they're doing that, we can go ahead and get started.
Yeah. Well, while we wait on Tammy and Alex, let's see. What do you want to start with? This is what we want to start with.
Let's get our Randy Bible out.
Yeah, literally the Bible.
Saying, Alex, if you remember, he is the one that sent over the manual for the Dodge.
Yep.
And he also contacted us about the image in the
It's marked, I think.
National Geographic. No, this comes from Alex.
No, I meant, I thought that was bookmarked.
No.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Remember the National Geographic picture we thought looked identical to Randy? So.
And this, I still don't want to fully rule out because there's been nothing to actually do that. But there are a lot of differences between his face and Randy's.
Yeah.
So it's not something I would consider likely. But until there's more information, I don't want to completely rule it out. And guys, we are still somewhat playing catch up, getting back with everybody that's reached out. We were able to contact several this last week, but we still have some more to go. To get caught up with everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience on that while we do that.
Yes.
But we've had a couple new locations come into search, so we've been trying to get those lined up, permission to search those areas. It was all public or private property. And I had somebody ask me earlier, like Stranger Creek, for example, if you could get a boat in the water, couldn't you just float down the creek? Yeah. Well, Kansas is different than like Missouri. Missouri, if you can get on the creek and stay in the water, you're good. But you can't touch the bank. In Kansas, the landowner owns the water as well.
There they are.
Here they are.
There we go. Yay!
So, guys, we are going to get Alex and Tammy added up on the screen now.
Yay! Hi, guys.
Finally.
Hello.
Boy, that was a mess, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're here, though.
Glad to be here.
Good. All right.
Yeah, we had to do the Safari link and not use Google. And once I got to the Safari, then it was able to work okay.
Sorry about all that. It was a mess.
We had to make you work for
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so first question, John, was the car right side drive?
Yeah, it was the normal side.
Yeah. Thinking maybe it was the male vehicle because you know they've got them on both sides. So yeah, John, it was the normal side. And then Eagle Cemetery is gated. Does anyone know if it's open to the public? How far away is Eagle Cemetery?
That's that one that come up with Jennifer.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
she come back and done an update that area had been searched and cleared.
Okay. Let's see.
So I don't know if it's actually open to the public.
Yeah.
We can look into that. And
I got it. Okay. Okay. Hey, Alex, do you want to talk about that experiment that you had going?
Yes.
Yes. So, about a month and a half ago, when we were talking about the theory that Randy possibly could have drove off into the woods, that was something to think about. So luckily enough, where we live, there is a semi truck that is setting off the road in the woods. So for about the last 5 weeks, every Wednesday, we would stop and take, about 5 pictures. And we have been watching the progress as the trees and the leaves and the brush and everything has started to grow. And it has totally disappeared now from the road where you cannot see it anymore. And the truck is white in color, so it really stands out.
Yeah.
My always thought was that I always thought if he ran off the road, you would see it. But
right.
This definitely proves that if he went far enough off into the road, and basically we started taking the pictures around the date that he disappeared, that time of the month. So, it was a great experiment to try and see if we could prove or debunk that it was possible.
And that was super fast too. I can't get over how fast it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Whew.
And we both had looked at it and took pictures, and I still believe it's possible that it could have happened that way. The only thing that I see that I would say that it wouldn't happen would be if the car went through a thick enough wooded area, it would knock trees down. To the average person, if you drive by something every day, you notice it, but it just goes out of your mind. And then all of a sudden you would see an opening in the trees and stuff, and that, you would see it and then question it.
Yeah.
But we definitely proved that, a car, a truck, anything with enough speed and got far enough into the woods that will disappear within about 4 weeks at that time of the year. So, we were able to prove that it is possible to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at these pictures, guys, you can kind of see what Alex is talking about. Well, you can see it flat out there, what Alex is talking about. The experiment I thought was genius plan. So,
because the first picture, you can clearly see the truck, and now you'll drive right by.
You wouldn't even know it was there. Yeah. So that could have happened. Absolutely. Okay. What did Leanne say? Alberta hasn't responded to me, but I know that the other car was modified to drive from the right side. Okay.
Maybe this one was too then. I've had some people tell me that it wasn't modified.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know if it was or not.
Well, that's a good question.
I think that would be something that would, that would catch someone's eye if they
because
and anybody that was, friends of the family or friends of Randy, and if he drove this car often, I would think that somebody would notice that.
Mm-hmm.
We should, get confirmation that it did or it did not have that setup for mail delivery.
Yeah.
You see, and Catfish has been mentioning this theory for a long time now.
Yeah.
And the biggest issue is driving around in that area. You don't see a whole lot of places to where a vehicle could have went off like that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it doesn't take a whole lot to
No.
cover that vehicle and hide it.
So it had wheels on both sides because of a kit. Yeah. So Randy didn't hardly ever drive that car, Leanne said. I don't think I want to have him drive my car either like that.
So, can you confirm that the Dodge 600 car did have the right-hand drive kit added to it? Or are you talking about the car that replaced it?
See, I think she's talking about the car that replaced it.
Sure.
No.
Steering wheels, right.
And she said Randy didn't hardly ever
Yeah.
drive that car. And, you know, Alberta's also mentioned that as well.
Yeah.
He always drove the truck.
Yeah.
What was there ever any speculation to why that evening? Has anybody ever said why he was driving the car versus the truck? Was Alberta and Harold out in the truck at some point, or
The tractor was loaded in back of the truck.
Oh, yes,
was
that's
why they
right.
said he drove the car instead of the truck that night. They hadn't unloaded the tractor out of the back of it.
Right. And Bobby says, what I have already put together over the months now, Randy, he is not in water, nor did he take his life.
Yeah, because when I done the video discussing the theory of him possibly driving a different direction that nobody really thought of and accidentally drove off a small bridge or into a clump of brush or woods, that's the one that somebody come out and said we referenced suicide. At no point.
No.
And I'm with Bobby there. At no point did I ever think suicide was involved in this.
No. And Leanne just said, I don't remember if the Dodge did or not. I called. I'm trying to find out. So.
And Leanne, thank you for everything you've been doing. You've been so helpful. And there's, I mean, as Alex said, his experiment with this has proved very easily.
Very.
If
That's
a
what got
semi
me.
disappeared that's that color,
a
car is easily going to disappear.
Right.
Yeah, I believe with a vehicle being dark color in nature, that we probably would not have been able to see it probably at least 2 weeks ago.
Right.
But being, you know, this semi truck being white and as large it is, I mean, it's been right at 4 weeks going on 5 weeks that it's, you know, that it's definitely gone. You do not notice it from the road no more at all.
And then when you're driving down a road and you're not specifically looking for a vehicle off in that one particular area, you'll pass right by it and never give it a second thought.
It's definitely something to keep in mind on other searches as well for other people.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, that is,
Especially things farther north that are, you know, just now blooming and
I mean, it's a good possibility that there's, you know, other cases of people missing in their cars that this, you know, if they're in an area that has enough woods and trees and brush, you know, a thick forest, I mean, it's very possible somebody could fly off a road, especially where there's, you know, very few people living, homes, businesses, anything. You know, it's a very great high possibility it could happen.
Yeah.
And Joshua Bohannon had been missing for a while in Tennessee, and I believe it was a hunter that happened to stumble across his remains out there.
Goodness.
And that happens. There are so many cases out there that are solved because, especially mushroom hunters, they really seem to find a lot of missing people deceased out in the woods.
Yeah, go out for mushrooms, come back with, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make
Come
a funny
back with
joke about it, but you know.
nightmares.
Bobby says, I'm positive he's in a barn that either is in bad shape, that's ready to fall down, that nobody is checking into, that the car was put in the barn with the windows up and left running. Oh, wow. It's pretty detailed. Goodness.
Bobby, do you think with that comment, do you think that he could possibly still be in the area, or do you think that someone could have drove him an hour away, or 3 or 4 hours away, to say it that? Do you think that is a possibility with that scenario, that could have played out like that?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, wow.
And Aaron asked, has anyone talked with Little Joe and asked him why he checked out the wrecker at 12:30 a.m., what he was doing with it?
Right.
I did try to reach out and was unable to make contact.
That's my question.
We talked about that the other night, didn't we, Tammy?
Because
Okay.
there's nothing stating that he had any response.
Right. Yep, absolutely.
Leanne says, speaking of searching, I'm needing another horse if anyone knows someone.
If you remember, is it accurate that Randy wrecked his mom's car a week or two before he went missing? I heard this and didn't know if it's accurate. Who sent that? Who's that from? John.
I believe the time before the party like that, I believe that was the truck that he had wrecked.
Yeah. Oh, Alex, Bobby said he's within a 200-mile circle from where the party was. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a good start, to keep further looking into the investigation of locations, that possibly could have happened.
Yeah. Because then you have, oh, there she goes again. There you go, true crime. Spill it, baby. She says, wherever he is, I see sunflowers. I've been seeing that the last few times. Just picked up cards and asked, are there sunflowers close to where he is? And I got the sun card with sunflowers all around.
Wow.
There's a few sunflower. You know where I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
Is there not a big sunflower farm?
That's what I was just thinking, Alex.
Go and take pictures.
Yeah. That was the exact one I was just, yeah.
And it happened last time too when she asked and used a different deck. Doesn't mean he is in sunflowers, but they could be seen in the area. So our next time out, we're going to need to go over into that area.
Bobby says, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the Flanagans know where Randy's car is. That's what I'm kind of.
Sunflower.
That's out by DeSoto, simply because I lived across the street. I know where that's at.
And the ammunition plant has come up from a few different people as well as.
It is deserted. Deserted. There we go. But I know exactly where that's at. When I lived in DeSoto for a while, I lived in the apartments that are pretty much right across the street from it. So I know exactly. And it is Sunflower Ammunition Plant. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh goodness. Thank you, Leanne. Oh dear. Please know I rarely speak on what I see unless the energy is high. Ooh.
Craig, I had that picture off Google Earth of a car behind the Flanagan older house. I can find it again.
Yeah. Goodness.
And guys, in fact, there's a search that we have coming up, waiting on water to come down, that we've invited Alex and Tammy out to help us on that one.
Right. And she just said again, for the girl that was just found in a ditch, I told Jen that night that I had no clue who she is, but I'm hearing sewer. And she was found in a sewer drainage. Goodness.
I remember you commenting
that's
that
right.
because it was
That's
on
right.
one of our live feeds.
Yes.
And you called that location
Yes.
out, and that's where they found her.
So, oh my goodness. Oh, geez. There was a car in one of those smaller ponds on the south of the 1, 2, 3 ponds.
Okay, Ponytail, I believe Jared searched that pond based off of somebody sending him that image, and it ended up not being a vehicle. I'll go back in and confirm that.
Right.
But I believe that one Jared searched and cleared.
Oh, Craig said it was 2010, I believe, and the property was cleared completely up after. The car was there for about a year. Oh, goodness.
And Craig, this is the property across from the Irwin residence where the party took place, right?
Wasn't there other questions up there that we missed? Maybe, if your mouse is working. Let's see. Okay. Okay, everybody read that one.
Yeah.
Okay, Bobby said the Flanagans were the last people that spoke to Randy at the party.
I think we read
Yeah.
these already.
Yeah, we're up. We're pretty much caught up on the questions there. Did you have any new questions, Alex, that you wanted to throw out there real quick?
I'm just still a firm believer that Randy knew that he had to be home at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Right.
But people have made comments and have said about him. You know, I still believe that the 11 o'clock to 11:45 time was probably the most important time of the night, because sometime in there something happened, and he was at the point where he couldn't make the decisions to either leave on his own or something was gave to him. You know, something happened at that point where that's when everything turned worse.
Right. Alex, Leanne just asked, do you have any questions for her?
Leanne, do you know what color Harold's truck was that he had at that time?
Randy was.
Do you know?
Randy was rude.
Oh, jeez.
In true crime, I asked again, and the card came out with the queen holding a sunflower. Please have sunflowers be a clue. Wish I can give exact.
Honey, you're doing great. We'll take all the clues you get. Goodness.
And Leanne says the last time she saw him was at 1:45.
Yeah, and Randy was roofied, so.
I just make the comment between 11 and 11:45 is, you know, either the alcohol or the drugs. Something happened to where his, I guess, impairment, him being able to know to make the decision, like Tammy just said, the decision that it was time to go home, because he was, he sounded like he was always home on his curfew for the most part.
Yeah.
So something had to have happened,
to prevent him from
that. Between that and, if Leanne saw him at 1:45 a.m., there was a reason he couldn't make a decision to go home. And,
Right.
It had to have been alcohol, it had to have been drugs, something. So,
and she said it was a rusty brown and cream.
So a two-tone.
Yeah, rusty brown and a cream color, Alex.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne.
Ooh. TC Spotlight. Randy was 17 or 18. How old was he? 17. Randy was 17. Yeah, you'll have to go back and read or watch some of our past cases, TC, to find out who exactly Randy Leach is.
In TC Spotlight, this case will be a really good one for you.
Yeah. Good. I mean, he just seemed like an all around good kid, and then went to a pre-graduation party, and that was the last time anybody saw him. So, Bobby, I think Flanagan and Randy had bad words back in time. Had bad words back in time when Randy asked Flanagan about parking in his driveway. Flanagan waited on Randy, and seeing it wasn't able to drive, so Flanagan had someone. Ooh. John, wonder who got ahead of Randy's drink, got a hold of Randy's drink. Probably the same guy that probably had Randy's keys.
In TC Spotlight, be ready for an emotional roller coaster. In this case,
it's a local case around this area. So, and it's 34 years is long enough to be missing. So, yeah.
Any human emotion you can feel, you're going to feel looking into this case.
Leanne just said he was all about getting home when he spoke, but his intoxication plus couldn't find his keys. That's why I was going to take him home. Hi, Trisha. Okay, I'm looking at it now on Google Earth. Oh, goodness. Even to just talk about it all the time, we talk about it all, during the day, and what you talk with Alex, it's still like, oh, I still can't believe this.
Okay, Leanne, do you remember anyone bullying Randy that night out of the norm that wasn't friendly to Randy?
Oh, that's a good question.
So Flanagan waited to have one of his friends drive him, and Flanagan had him put in a barn with windows up and let the motor running, close the barn doors, let them pass out in his car.
That'd be a whole different way to look at it, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And what did John say? No.
About the bullying.
Oh, okay. There was no other bullies or anything. Okay, well, they all seemed like, just good old people,
Well, I've heard from several people that the Kansas City crowd was more of a rougher crowd.
Yeah.
Leanne, would you say that Kansas City crowd was rough or rougher than what Linwood was used to?
And Bobby, Craig just said, check out that image on Google Earth, see what you think. That's what I meant. Randy is not in water. Yeah. 5 of 2010.
That's when he's seeing the vehicle back.
Yeah.
Was with any of the Google Earth images, and I think we've discussed this before about Flanagan's property. Over the years, could anybody see if there was any dirt work ever done? Disturbance of the ground where you can see grass, and then you can definitely tell it's been disturbed and it's nothing but dirt again. Was there?
Right.
Did anybody ever see any type of those pictures or anything with the Flanagan property or the Irwin property in conjunction in that area?
I haven't. I know the Irwin property, recently there was some digging going on, but the house was up for sale at the time. So I don't know if it was somebody who bought the house recently that was doing some digging. It kind of looked like they were digging like a pond or something on there.
And then, and a follow-up with that question would be, looking at old Google Earth, the old Earth imaging or vintage aerial, to see if there was any type of heavy equipment that was on the Flanagan's property or the Irwins or anywhere in conjunction, area.
Wasn't there a piece of property on the Irwin, or a piece of equipment on the Irwin residence? I think somebody sent me a picture a while back ago that had a piece of equipment over there, and I don't remember what it was.
Gosh darn it, I can't either.
Every day for 33 years.
Okay, and Craig said they cleaned all the junk up, and yes, it looks like the dirt has been messed with in spots on Flanagan's old property.
And Leanne said the KC crowd were all assholes. So there you go. And Bobby says we're talking a 200-mile radius and old barns. Oh Lord.
And Leanne's comment there, that is right in line with what other people were saying. It was a mutual feeling on that.
Mm-hmm.
The junk up, and yes, it looks like the dirt has been messed with.
Yeah.
So at that point, with what Bobby is saying, does that mean? Technically, we'd have to do some type of research to look if the accusation that Flanagan has done this, and if Bobby thinks possibly 200 miles away, we'd have to look at friends or relatives of that time period who possibly had friends or relatives that possibly had land, because that would be pretty crazy just to drive and find some barn in a field somewhere and look. Not saying it's not possible.
Yeah.
I would think that there would have to be connections. There would have to be, not to say premeditated, but someone would have to know, okay, well, we can take this here because such and such person, has 100 acres with barns on it and there's no houses around or something, so.
Well, Leanne just posted a pretty good one. She said where the house was and around it never grew grass again. It just stayed dirt. Well, that's lovely. Bobby says, well, Alex, if you think about how many waterways already have been checked and cleared and he's not in the water, where would be the best place to hide a car? In an old barn.
Well, that's possibly true. Absolutely. I believe if the car was not sent to the shredder or something like that, I would believe that the car was either hidden, either in a barn, or it was hidden in dirt underneath, being buried. Somebody had to know somebody that had a piece of equipment to borrow something and dig a hole. I would tend to lean more towards that the car went to the scrapyard. That the next day, the middle of the night, maybe it went a week later and it was hidden, after the event that took place, that whatever, where Randy went one way or another, I would believe that, the car could have been hidden for 6 months somewhere, then disappeared,
Yeah.
But I would possibly think that it probably disappeared that night or the next day to make quick work of, there not being any evidence of where the car is.
Right. Leanne says, Bobby, there were also people that night from KC who had access to car crushers. Flanagan. Oh, was there a question about Flanagan a minute ago that we missed? Hold on, guys. We're trying to catch up on questions here. Okay. Oh, okay. How many bad people did Flanagan know back then?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then Flanagan would have had connections all over the state. Oh, yeah. And Bobby says you couldn't crush a car back then without a car title. I told you that. Remember, I told you they would have. But would they keep records?
I thought in '88 they still didn't need a car title over here.
No, I think my question was they can crush it, but do they keep records of it? That was mine.
And then if you make a deal with a lot of places, especially back then, they'll look the other way and crush it.
Yeah.
I don't think that back then it was there was a law.
I don't think it. I don't.
Taking a lot of, scrap vehicles, but he has to have a title now. That just changed though, didn't it?
See, I thought it was in the early to mid 90s when the law passed that you had to have a title to scrap a vehicle.
Remember, they didn't search the Irwin's property for 11 days. Oh, could have been, okay. Could have been hidden for years. It would be interesting to see him on a lie detector. Flanagan, absolutely. Ponytail says, parked in a barn with windows up, car running is still pretty damn specific details. Hi, Mark.
Mark.
If they did it after hours, who would know? That's true.
That is true as well.
Yeah. I agree, Ponytail. Bobby, you're in big trouble, sir.
Well, I would say when the car disappeared, either, there was the car with someone driving it, and then there had to be somebody else that had to bring the person back that was driving the car, or somebody hauled it, with a wrecker, a tow truck, a rollback truck. I mean, the few options of getting the car from point A to point B and making it disappear, there's only so many ways to look at it and think how it was done.
Yeah.
And that goes back to why was the record checked out at 12:30 that night?
Exactly.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
And that if he would just come forward, all he has to, of course, either you're guilty of doing something wrong or you're not. And has there ever been any documentation of him being questioned why he did it? And
I haven't read any on little Joe Wilson. I know when Teresa was questioned, she was actually at the Wilson's house when detectives, I guess, showed up to question her there. But I haven't actually seen anything about questioning little Joe. I want to believe that they did, but I haven't seen anything showing that they did.
And
Okay.
did the police, anybody with the authorities, whether it was KBI, Leavenworth, did anybody go to the GM dealership where the truck was checked out and borrowed to see if there was any records of what it did, or was the only records of who checked it out and brought it back?
I have not seen anything on any of that. And knowing that it got checked out at 12:30 that night, for me, that would be one of the first things you want to look into. Yes. And there's a lot of things in this that points to a lot of corruption involved. And then there's a lot of things in this that could be written off as not so much corruption, but just failure to actually do the job right.
Bobby says Flanagan had money back then and probably paid people to keep their mouths shut. Absolutely. That's the bad part. Bobby, I'm a young old man.
I'm still waiting for Bobby to cook us a fish dinner.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
Well, I'm getting tired of waiting on Bobby for a fish dinner, so we're looking at September.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a fish fry, and you guys are going to have to come out for that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be there.
Say, worst case, we can just do a Zoom call with him at Captain D's.
What's the bill, Bobby?
Yeah. Okay. Leanne says, Ponytail, Rhodes property by the up and down pond. What? Okay, I missed it. What are they? Oh, I'm sorry, Erin. Hi, Erin. How are you? What are they talking about? Flanagan. Oh, okay. Ponytail said Flanagan's property on 166th. Where did Carl Rhodes' family have rental? And that's when she said, okay, Rhodes property. Okay. By the up and down pond. Did you see? Did you see them? Great, Leanne. Thanks. It helps to understand viewpoints and life experience. I'm waiting on Alex to treat everyone to a steak dinner too.
I guess we'll have to go Butcher one of the cows.
And Leanne saying this with Catfish Life Experience. Catfish has sent me pictures over of some of his credentials and stuff. And that man has a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, he's got a lot of accomplishments under his belt. And they're amazing. So if you ever get the chance and want to talk with Bobby, I'm sure he wouldn't mind to share his experiences. So, okay. Ponytail said there's a barn completely hidden from sight from the closest main road, Golden Loring, 158th Bend, south of that curve. Thank you, Ponytail. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just curious, with all the search done at this time period, I mean, how many people, how many groups of people, did they walk hand in hand and foot to foot and covering ground, all these areas, which, I mean, I've heard of the search that were done and stuff. I just would think that by now, if he was close to, Linwood, Bonner Springs, Baser, Tonganoxie, any of these areas that supposedly he could be at, I just would think that by now, between hunters and farmers, just in general, I would think that we would have come across it by now. A car, his remains, something, I just something would have happened by now, and it's a good idea that, maybe looking into trying to trace known family members or other people that, possibly the car and Randy is 100 miles, out of the KC metro area, possibly.
Yeah, because we all, myself included, tend to focus on names that was at the party, and we don't so much look at relatives of those people in those locations that could be of interest. So that is a very good point there.
Okay, Bobby said you also think about it too. There were a lot of dirty cops back then too that Flanagans were buddies with. Oh yeah. That's the problem.
Seeing, I support law enforcement 100%, but in this case,
it's hard to. It's very hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to even pretend there's no corruption there. There is definitely corruption. It's just at what level is that corruption?
Right. Ponytail just said, and another property just recently cleared from what looks like 20 to 30 years of brush growth. Also looks like a septic tank dug up after cleared, but could be expected if something needs fixed. Yeah, that's still 20, 30 years. Goodness. Do you have that exact location, Ponytail? Okay, Leanne said hoof to hoof, ATVs on foot, the entire area searched summer of '88. I've never stopped searching. That's why I need another horse.
Leanne, get a nice horse this time.
Yeah, we don't like the other horse that kicked your butt, honey. No, we don't like him. I'm kidding.
Leanne, maybe you should get one of those gas powered.
There you go.
What are you thinking?
See, Bobby's theory always gets me about the barn, the old barn, and now Alex bringing up the families of the people at the party, possible locations linked to them that something could be hit on.
Oh, goodness. I'm just thinking about it myself.
That's almost worse than going back to square one, because that's going to be everywhere.
Oh, goodness. TC said Adventures with Purpose did a search, you said as well. Absolutely. They did quite a few for that area.
Yeah, they've been here 3 times. And the last time they left and said they wasn't going to come back because it's a foul play case and they don't do foul play cases.
Yeah. Which that's fine. I mean, but yeah.
But yeah, they searched a lot of areas while they were here.
True Crime says, yeah, you can support law enforcement, and no, there are some bad apples. Hope law enforcement wasn't involved, though.
Right.
We're going to hope not, but the way it's looking, it's not looking good.
Catfish says, Leanne, take Dennis's car. It's on its last leg, or last
Hey,
hoof.
it's hanging in there.
You can take the car, but don't take my truck.
So,
Hey, Bobby,
yeah.
did you have experiences with your line of work? Did you have cases where people were hidden in barns? That people took people and hid them like that far away from, the location of where they went missing. I mean, is that a common occurrence in missing people's cases? Does that happen a lot? I mean, just besides, your typical situations that happen, but just out of curiosity, have you had that experience with that type of situation?
Oh, goodness. Okay. Craig just said, I have a friend there in Linwood Baser area, and his brother hung with the questionable crowd, and he said he heard there was a list out there of people to get rid of. Oh, lovely. But yeah, Bobby, that is a good question that Alex asked. I kind of want to know the answer myself. True Crime, yes. Yeah, they didn't want any, it was just completely for their safety, and I get that.
Yeah, and a lot of people got upset with them on this, but Jared was very, very clear when they first got started doing this that they wouldn't work foul play cases. So he was very upfront about that even long before Randy's case.
Is that then or now? Right.
The car or Randy never showed up. I have to believe he's in the water someplace in an accident.
It's Mark's number one theory.
Bobby said, yes, Alex. A lot of my investigations were found cars in old barns that had people in their cars. It's sad. It's a sad thing to find people hidden this way. Yes.
Thank you for answering that, Bobby. Can we go back to Craig's question where he said, I have a friend there in Linwood Baser area, and his hung with a questionable crowd, and he said he heard there was a list of people to get rid of.
Right.
Are we talking in the time period when Randy went missing in 1988, or what exact time period are we talking?
Was he on that list?
And was Randy possibly on that list because of some of the rumors, accusations that he was going to go to the cops and talk about the drug situations that were going on?
Yeah. Craig says yes. So, assuming it was around that time period.
That list was from that time period.
And yes, he was
on that list.
Yeah.
Has that list ever been published? Has anybody have any documents of that list with what was possibly said with names?
Oh, goodness.
And Leanne said, Adventures with Purpose still took the Leach's money, though, didn't they? My interview with them was their last visit. Jared knew it was possible foul play from day one.
So they paid him?
They paid him?
And Craig said that's all that was said on that. And True Crime, I just hope these people are found. Their families deserve closure.
And Alex, it looks like that's all that was said about the list.
I know when I was in high school, at Baser and Linwood, there was a list that went around of some people. Somebody had wrote a list that they wanted these people gone, and there was probably 12, 15 people's name on it. And I don't know why the list was wrote. I don't know, to not jokingly say that somebody was having a bad day and hated somebody. But, it was a big to-do there for, a week or so. And this list was found with people's names.
When was that?
Right.
I want to say that would be 90 or 91. So either my sophomore year or my junior year.
Yeah. Oh, Leanne said, I'm on that list. I'm sure. I don't care though. Craig says, I wonder if Schultz was on that list as well.
Good question, Jack Schultz.
Yeah. And who sent that one right there? I can't. Will you scroll up? Oh, because I want to see when you mentioned payment. I want to know what that's about. Oh, okay, that makes sense. TC said, no, I think she's talking about the money generated from the YouTube views and super chats and whatnot. Okay, I was gonna say.
Because Mark had asked how did they take their money, like in views.
All right, because me and Tammy, we both kind of what? So yeah.
And Leanne says gave him money to rent the additional equipment for searching under the sand.
My husband worries about me going into the lion's den with the cases I handle, but he knows that I will be part of what I do. That it will be part of what I do, and we will make sure I am good. That's awesome. Any movement on getting access to Mr. Bishop's pond?
Not at the moment. And hopefully this rain, I guess we got more rain coming this week.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon all of that will hold off and we will be able to get access to a lot more places.
TC, I asked the hubby if he really expects anything else from me.
Because TC, some of the cases we're working on, we've had threats come in, right up to death threats and everything. And if everybody lets that bother them and pushes them away from trying to help, these families are never going to find answers. So it's all about doing everything you can to keep yourselves and your family safe and moving on.
Do you see what Leanne just said? TC Spotlight, no, they gave Jared money directly. Tammy, I'm looking right at you, honey.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Craig, my buddy had his shop broken into around the same time period and all his machine equipment taken. Great.
Craig, there was a pretty good thieving ring going on, between the late 80s into the early 90s in the Leavenworth County area. Lots of John Deere equipment was being stolen. Lots of farm equipment, heavy equipment. There was stuff being stolen all over out there. I worked for the school district when I was in high school. I remember somebody cut the back of the equipment barn, cut the sheet metal off the barn, and stole all the new John Deere tractors.
Oh, my goodness. To go to that length. Goodness.
Yeah.
You didn't once.
Huh? Do what now?
It did. It happened twice within a year or two that they had broke into the school and stole equipment.
Alex, Leanne asked, did you know Lee Ayers?
I remember Lee. He was quite a bit older than me because, I was a freshman in 1989. I do remember him because I believe he was a senior when I was a freshman, because my first year of Baser, which was actually Baser and Linwood, the year that the two school districts combined, and I believe he was a senior, if I remember right. I do remember him. I don't remember, actually talking to him and stuff, but I have heard of his name and I have seen him in the yearbooks and did remember seeing him at schools.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to be running out of broadcast.
Uh-oh. Are we going to have to end it?
Is it me?
Dennis, you got to put some more quarters in the machine. Hurry.
Yeah.
So are we going to have to jump off here or keep going? Can we go? Oh.
Don't let the negative people deter you. Leanne, oh, wow, that just makes me.
Are you still okay?
Are you still in contact with the heirs?
Are we going to have to get off here?
We will before long. I don't remember how long it lets you stream. We're using the free version of StreamYard right now, and it has a time limit of what you can stream at a time. Yeah. And I don't know what that time limit is.
Wasn't it 2?
I thought it was like 2.5 hours.
Well, can we jump off? Well, no, I don't want to do that because it'll take them off there.
Tweakers descended on the area in the 90s. Leanne, did you drive Lee Ayers home that night, or did he go his own way?
Go on his own.
And Lee was a senior, Leanne's ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
It's like 50 hours. Oh.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Thank you, True Crime. Okay. Okay, there seems to be some confusion on when he left. Some say he was there all night. Some say he left early.
And that would be Lee.
Yeah.
I think there's a pretty good account of, possibly when he left, even with, Leanne seeing him at 1:45 a.m. I mean, we have, proof. I mean, we have Leanne's account that he was still there on the property at that time.
We got 20 hours a month. So we're good.
Okay. Oh, Leanne said, we talked from time to time. He got mad at me and he caught a ride home. Well, and Mark says, I'm talking about Lee Ayers.
What's this?
Oh, okay.
And Leanne, when you mentioned that the sheriff may have been involved with Flanagan's drug dealings, would that be Campbell? And Lee left before Leanne around midnight.
Ponytail, what was he mad about? Bobby says, now true, you said that you will be finding Randy soon, and he wants to know if you are in the same theory he is towards Old Barnes. Oh, here we go. Craig says, I wonder if Flanagan and Randy had the altercation that was mentioned before about him kicking over a table of drugs, which I would assume was cocaine or meth, knowing the time period.
Oh, that's a good one.
Goodness. Campbell, yes. Campbell. So, okay. Yeah. Lovely.
Hey, and I have a question for you. Campbell, is this the same? Is this relation to Campbell's sale barn or the Campbell kids that went to Baser Linwood that I went to school with? Is this their father or uncle or grandfather? Are they related? Just out of curiosity, if you know that.
That was a good question. If they are related to him.
And going back with the, Bobby thinking about the Barnes situation and 200-mile radius, that's something that, we need to look at with Jen, since Jen does the map work, and she is so good at it. That would be an incredible part for her to expand her radius. And, we use what, Bobby's telling us, and, look at a 200-mile radius, and then see if we can locate anybody in relation to anybody that's been mentioned in all this, and try to find relatives, or if somebody owns property, family owned property. I mean, that's possible. That would, if Jen would be, entertain the thought of doing that and helping with that.
I think she actually mentioned that she's open to doing that.
Okay.
And basically it's going to be using like Google Earth, finding any kind of old barn out there, then doing a check on that specific property to see who's lived there and what their connections may be to some of these other people.
Yeah. Craig says, or Bobby said, Craig, yes, this is why Flanagan and comment went away. Hold on, guys. Okay. Yes, this is why Flanagan and Randy had words, and I think Randy was in over his head with Flanagan, and Flanagan got rid of the problem. Has the Barnett name come up for you? All right, Alex, this is what Leanne said. I don't know if they are related, but I don't think so. The sale barn guy's first name is Everett.
Thank you, Leanne, for answering that for us.
Barnett.
See, Barnett's name has come up quite a bit from people in documents and stuff.
Yeah. And Bobby said, so Randy's disappearance and all of it points to Flanagan. Well. Mark said he was a bad guy, Bobby. He was in close proximity.
They all get me thinking so much.
And to go back and clarify, Flanagan's property and the Irwin's property shared the same driveway, correct? Or is that incorrect?
The Flanagan and the Irwin's driveway was on the same side of the road, right across the road from Flanagan's. And it was a double driveway that kind of split.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were a shared driveway.
Mark says, oops, cops never checked his property for years later. Bobby says, yes, Mark and Alex agrees with me. Yes, Alex. Leanne said TC 100 people max, but not all at the same time.
Yeah, people were coming.
Oh, yeah.
And Leanne, do you remember about what time the Linwood kids started heading over to the Red Bridge area, leaving the Irwins and moving over? I saw 5 months they never checked Flanagan's. Yeah, it was forever before they checked that. Randy is not in water nor on Flanagan's property.
Randy was parked in Flanagan's mouth of his driveway. Access from school buses he had stored there.
Across from the school.
Or, excuse me. Yeah.
According to Burns.
Hmm.
And then Burns, that's the pond that the Holiday brothers went out and cleared.
Leanne just said, I still think my POS brother knows more, and I'm wondering if he was there when it went down.
What makes you think that, Leanne, by you making that statement?
Oh, what did she say? People look like family or seen the picture. Oh,
Okay.
Aaron just said, Leanne, are there any photographs there in Linwood, Kansas? I.e., people like, I missed that question completely. Oh, she's talking about like senior pictures and were they up against old barns in front of old buildings? That might have old barns in the area. That's a good idea.
Mark asked if anyone knows Burns. I believe Mark or Brandon and Brent Holiday, because that's the first pond they went out and threw magnets in. It was a smooth bottom, shallow pond, and they were able to clear.
Yeah. Okay.
That's understandable, Leanne.
Yeah.
Randy could be in an old septic system. Who would check? I would lower a camera in there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we'll just lower it in.
I can hold Chrissy by her ankles.
I knew you were going to say
down
that. Tammy, I see you. Quit it. And then Ponytail said, do you still talk to your brother, Leanne? I knew you were going to do that.
It's a good idea.
Oh, hush.
We'll take one of them camp showers out there so it can hose you off. And...
Yeah, no. Absolutely. Oh, Mark, please invite the Burns brothers onto this next live feed.
Okay, we'll see if we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few different people I'd like to invite to come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too bad there's not a way we could try to invite people from that time period and, set up a town hall type meeting,
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we are going to be setting up a town hall type meeting like that. And we're going to try to find a place near Linwood to do this. And it'll be open for all cases, but the main focus is going to be on Randy's case. And we're looking at doing that sometime this summer.
Okay, what now? Okay. Ooh. Leanne said, Ponytail, 3 times in 5 years. We were never close. He always hated me since my birth, pretty much. And then Mark says, Leanne, can you help get permission to search ponds on private property? Jen and I have several locations. We need permission for Muddy, Waters, or Brandon to get on. There are older systems called a Texas post hole. Oh, they're talking about septic systems.
In sinkholes, because
yeah,
Bobby has been mentioning sinkholes almost from the beginning.
It's in the Dr. Pepper tonight. Goodness. Woo.
Not sure what you all are drinking over there.
Just good good old Dr. Pepper, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I got my boat battery charged up and it is ready to get back on the water.
Okay. I'll go right there. That's fine.
You got to get your moment, don't you? Go on.
Come on, Tex. Come on. Come on. Get out of the way. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Right there.
He's spoiled.
And Bobby, I'm drinking that good stuff tonight, Bud Light.
I do have a few of those in the fridge.
Go, boy.
No, what information planning offered up?
Oh, goodness. What information Flanagan offered up as to his plea deal? That's what I want to know. And Leanne, would you drive out to these homes and explain the situation and get permission? It has to be local because people don't trust outsiders. Yeah. All right, buddy, go on.
Wow, Mark
Go on.
downed about 15 Bud Lights this evening.
Okay, buddy.
He's feeling good. Maybe not feeling good in the morning, but
Now, if I get, then I'll leave you the empty cans.
Hey, Leanne, can I ask you a question? Have you ever had anybody threaten you, try to harm you in any way since your relation to this situation? Have you had any encounters like that?
Ponytail, 4 years and 11 months for murder and gets out. Right. Be right with you guys. We're kind of catching up on some things here. Ugh. Okay, someone had mentioned before possibly Flanagan's, thank you, Flanagan's son living on his property and trying to make contact with him. Would he answer any questions? You know how bad I wanted to ask about Flanagan's son? If he knew anything.
And Leanne says, Mark, I'm considered an outsider. I didn't move here until I was 16, or until 16. And did you answer if she did that? Because that would be interesting to know just based off the threats we've got, not other cases.
She just said, Alex, I've been threatened, yes.
I'm sorry you've had to go through that, Leanne. I really am.
Or Flanagan's ex-wife. That would be another good
Flanagan's
one.
ex-wife would be a good one, yeah. Where does she live at? Does she still live here in Kansas? You remember?
Not right off. It's somewhere in all that.
Does she still retain Flanagan's last name, or does she retain?
Yep. Yep.
She didn't go back.
Because we were messing around the other day on the computer, just looking around, and we stumbled upon her, and she still has Flanagan's last name. So. Bobby says Flanagan's ex won't talk. She's probably been scared. She's probably too scared to say anything. I wouldn't doubt it, but I just kind of want to know the real Flanagan, what he really is like.
And Ponytail says there is a picture of Randy, maybe senior photo shoot of him standing in front of an old house or barn.
And
That's
Leanne,
what sidearms.
yes,
are for.
ma'am.
Never leave home without.
Right. We never do. We never do.
Ponytail's comment of him standing in front of an old house or barn. Boy, that would be a incredible thing to look at and investigate that barn, if it's a house or a barn, because going back to Bobby's theory, if he's in a barn, I mean, incredible thing to find that barn and see if somebody jokingly stuck him in that barn. If you could,
that's what I was just thinking to myself. I thought that would be horrible if it's that exact one.
We're on the same wavelength.
Right.
Do you have that photograph, Ponytail? And Craig has a point. You're right, Bobby, but it would be interesting to see how she acts.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a good guy, flat out. So, but I want to know more.
What's Alex
What's Alex drinking?
What are you drinking tonight, Alex?
actually, I'm not drinking anything, and I'm getting thirsty.
Here, have a Dr.
Yeah, we got plenty of Dr. Pepper.
He don't like what I have.
I haven't had pop in about 25 years.
Oh my goodness, the willpower. No, sir. No.
I know.
That's awesome. That is amazing. Good for you.
He's the water guy.
And Leanne says that, Mark, I have tried in the past just to get permission to ride their property with doors slammed in my face. Craig Flanagan sounds like a POS.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Something else I wanted to bring up just popped in my head. Some of the other live feeds, it was discussed if Randy could possibly be in like protective custody or something like that. And personally, for me, I've got to kind of rule that out. This has been 34 years. And if they put you in protective custody, normally the feds are involved. They're not going to put you in protective custody for 34 years and then do nothing to bring the person that you're a witness or testifying against. They're not just going to let it go for 34 years and not get them on something.
If they don't get the person that you're in protective custody for, do you have to remain in protective custody until they're gone? Or, I mean...
It would seem you would.
Right? I mean, I know that's probably a silly question, but I'm just wondering, I mean, isn't that how it goes?
And then you've got the budget that they're having to pay to keep you there and so on.
Ricky left.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, if you Dennis can reply to that question, but there is another, I believe, 2 or 3 people that have disappeared, in a similar time period. Jack Schultz was one of them, and then Dennis can fill in the other ones.
Yeah.
Say a little bit later, there was Skeet Bishop, there was Lloyd Folsom.
Leanne, I'm sorry.
There is the report of the lady that disappeared, but we haven't found any information on her. And then there's been 3 or 4 people at least that's been kind of working on the case that have come up deceased. And
yeah. And we've talked about this with Alex and Tammy, and they've given us some ideas of what we need to do. And we thank you for that. But yeah, this whole thing it's amazing that what has happened.
yeah.
And it's not like a big mob case, which I don't know. I better not say that, but it makes you nervous. Like, seriously, this has these kind of, you know what I mean?
And you got Steve Daughtry's death, or Doherty's death,
Yes.
that does not line up with aneurysm whatsoever. No. And out of the ones that were missing, they have not been found. We will be doing a search on the Missouri River this summer for Skeet Bishop and Lloyd Folsom. We may have narrowed down a probable area of where the barrels may have settled down, and we'll be searching this summer for them. But the ones that have went missing that we know about have not been found.
What's the average depth of the Missouri River?
It fluctuates. There's some areas you could almost walk across, and then there's some areas that's 20, 30 foot deep. It's just holes through there.
Right.
And the biggest thing with the Missouri River is how the current works. Right. It doesn't just go upstream to downstream. Mm-hmm. It's like hundreds of swirls that pull you everywhere in that river.
Is it because there's holes everywhere and it probably does this?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Gracious.
Catfish says you're wasting your time in water. He's not in water. Well, honestly, we can't rule out water, so we do have to look at every option. Investigators were not interested in solving this case at all in any way.
And like we've talked about, I mean, we have to exhaust every lead, every accusation, every rumor. Like we had talked about the National Geographics. I mean, the person in there does look like him, but he does. We're talking. What was it? 4 years? 4 years of time had passed. Supposedly when that was published, and when the actual picture was taken. And people do change in 4 years. They gain weight, they lose weight, they change their hairstyle. The biggest thing I tried doing with looking at those pictures was trying to look for a mole on this person's left ear, but we just couldn't do it. But then again, I haven't seen a picture of Randy where it looks like he does have a mole on his left ear. And that's another lead that we need to either debunk it or prove it or debunk it one way or another, just to mark it off the list and throw it in the trash can or keep it on the list and just keep going, and it's always there to keep looking at, just like a lot of the other accusations or rumors of possibly what was happened.
Oh.
And Craig, yes, we're talking about Ameristar Casino in that area. That is where I believe they put the barrels in, and then going back and seeing how fast the current was moving, knowing it's going to go several directions, and seeing how long it would take a barrel to finally sink, to narrow down how far from entry point downstream that would need to be searched. Right. But we will definitely be searching that this summer and hopefully able to find something there.
Okay, you need to go back up because yeah, that's what I wanted right there. Leanne said Steve was murdered. My mom was walking across the street the day it happened. A state trooper told her it was murder. She called and told me about it that day.
But then they changed it when
and then once you get done, scroll. How do I scroll down for that?
I hate to say this, but as many people that have died in this few years,
that one.
It sounds like it comes back to one person, which we know, but that name, and we're like on the verge of like a serial killer type situation. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but as many people that have died and speculated of relations and who did this and who told this to happen or who did this and who was truly doing it. I mean, it's a it's an unbelievable situation that needs to be solved.
Right.
You know, and truly, you know, other people that, you know, there's no names to them, bodies have been found, and, you know, it's just amazing of what could possibly be something huge.
Right. Exactly. Goodness, yes.
And Craig says in February of 2003, the Missouri River was almost dry.
Wow.
She wish she'd share photos on here, but I was okay. Leanne says ponytail. I'm sorry, but I was a senior. I know that Randy's senior pics were done at the school.
Green River was down in Kentucky about 18 feet the day I pulled the bass boat from it. Grissom was a serial killer in the area back in '88, but he preyed on girls.
Oh.
Who was that?
Richard Grissom. I remember him. And I actually remember being at Deffenbaugh landfill when I worked for my family's construction company, and the police were out there at the landfill digging through the trash.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, looking for these ladies.
Grissom was okay. Catch up, Chrissy. Ugh.
See, because Steve, I'd even gotten a hold of Johns Hopkins and asking if the knot, the wound on his head, all of that, if that was consistent with an aneurysm, and they had
Right.
never heard of
No.
anything like that with an aneurysm. And Leanne, do people in the community still talk about Randy's case when you go to get your hair cut or at the gas station, grocery store? And Leanne says, ponytail, I'm speaking about official pictures from the yearbook. If you're talking about something else, I apologize. And Bobby says, I don't think Randy is in no water, but don't rule out the water either.
Right. You can't. There's just can't yet.
Yeah, you can't rule out anything yet.
I had to take care of Richard at the hospital. Gave me the freaking creeps.
Oh gosh.
Back to Aaron's comment. I can say that just last week I was in the Casey's gas station on State Avenue on the east side of 7 Highway and State Avenue, and Randy's flyer is hanging up on the wall inside of that.
Nice.
And that's just basically east of Baser, the 7 Highway State Avenue area. So, I mean, there's still flyers out there. It's still there, being shown that he's missing.
Right.
And wasn't it Bobby that said that there was a flyer hung up all the way out?
That's right.
In Kentucky.
Didn't you say that, Bobby? I think you did.
That's amazing.
Right? Exactly.
Dan, how you doing?
Hi, Dan. Goodness. I swear, the more we do this, the more we're just more mortified. I am anyway.
Well, tonight's a perfect example of, another theory that's come up that, Bobby has put on our minds, possibly, looking in at another, possible adding another 200 miles, 100 miles of search area. If we look at the barn scenario, which, I mean, we can't rule out not looking in buildings and barns, possibly.
Yeah.
Leanne says no haircuts in Linwood or groceries, LOL. I was approached at the gas station in Linwood from the AWP video.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot in Linwood when it comes to businesses like grocery stores, eating places.
It's very small, but I don't think I could live there. I need something. Well, it's just something, you know.
I like it just because it don't have
I
stuff.
knew he was going to say that. I don't feel like driving 30 minutes to go grocery shopping. That's the thing.
That's why you only grocery shop once a month. Have a
Spend
garden.
$5,000. We're good for the couple of weeks.
See, you have a garden, you raise cattle, you have Alex come butcher the cow.
I'm gonna have to cook Bobby evidently.
Right.
Look at it this way. He may have had a tank of gas in his car and back. Then a tank of gas would take you 200 miles.
Back then. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I disagree that it's not a possibility by any means. If two people had to take someone somewhere and dispose of the car, dispose of the body, I mean, it's totally believable. I mean, how many times have people been found that have been hundreds of miles or states away and there's no account of why they're there? I mean, they ended up there somehow, either on their own or against their will or deceased.
Yeah. Dan said, anyone thought of looking into areas that construction sites were being built back then?
See, after the tornado went through Linwood and all of that damage, I was hoping something may have been found through that, but there were no reports of anything being found.
And Leanne says, Ponytail, I can think of only one person who had private pics. But I'm telling you, those homes that they rebuilt out there after the tornado, they're gorgeous. Driving out there, they're gorgeous homes. So.
That was smart.
Ouch. Goodness. And Bobby again says the barns where I'd be is where he would be looking at. Number one priority is the barns. Aaron says, Alex or Leanne, have either of you had an opportunity to visit with Randy's cousin, Darren Leach, that he used to hang around with?
I have not. But
I'm sorry.
I believe he would be a good person to talk to get, what Randy was like, how, what type of person was Randy, get another point of view, you have like Leanne's point of view of how Randy was. And, you guys have talked to Alberta and you know how things are, but, just talking to another family member, I believe would be a great insight to who Randy truly was, what type of person Randy was, who else did Randy hang around with that maybe his cousins knew about that his parents didn't know about. I mean, that is a possibility. I believe it should be looked into. It'd be awesome if he would join in on this and, if he would be willing to talk and come on, with you all and discuss it. I think it would be great.
Absolutely.
And Leanne said she met him once back then. And Dan, that is so true. 3 places that are hard to find a body: construction,
pig farm, and a cemetery.
And a cemetery.
I'm not sure.
And Aaron, yes, cousins always know more. Yes.
Didn't he live in Kansas City?
Who?
The cousin?
Darren.
No. Okay.
Did he?
No.
No.
Okay.
Been thinking Barnes for a long time too.
Maybe we are looking at this contract. Yes, Dan, that's right. But where's his car? Pigs didn't need his car. And then Dan says, I still believe his car went to a chop shop. I don't feel he is with his car. Aaron said, he has okay, this is about Darren.
Yeah.
He has a small engine repair shop there in Linwood. Randy and his dad was planning on having a lawnmower business. Yes, that's true. Did Randy hang with anyone that was into the car racing, dirt track scene, or drag racing? I asked this since he was restoring a muscle car. Okay. Leanne just said Chris Bosworth is another one maybe to talk to. They were close before high school. He lived in Lawrence. Darren did.
That's right.
I think talking to Darren would be an excellent idea, if possible. There's been some accusations, rumors that maybe Randy was going to run and flee. Maybe talk with Darren and say, Darren, if he would talk to you all and pick his brain, see what he would offer up, and just what was his opinion.
Yeah.
Did he not like his home life? Did he ever way? That possible way. I mean, I would think maybe if he was close enough to his cousin, he might make comments, and tell him, heart to heart things to a family member that wasn't his mom and dad, but to his cousin. And if they had a good relationship and he, Randy didn't have any brothers or sisters, maybe he could possibly looked at Darren as a brother more than a cousin, and maybe have thought.
Darren wasn't brought up very much during any talks or information we know. Was he?
The night of the party, wasn't Darren the one that was helping pour concrete at his grandma's?
I believe so. I believe it was Darren who was doing that.
And Dan says it's easier to hide a body without a car. Damn, I sound like I've gotten rid of a body.
We all wanted muscle cars back then. When my first was a Chevelle. Nice.
That's when they made real cars.
Oh, that's the cinnamon.
And then Leanne said, anyway, that's what Alberta told her. So, still get fingerprints out of inside the car. That's true. That's true. Leanne, Randy was very close to his parents. Be right back, guys. Excuse me.
And Leanne, do you remember what time it was when Randy showed up to the party? What time he got there? Or what time you first saw him? Chevelle was an awesome car. I had a 69 Z28 and loved the muscle cars. And if he and Randy were close, Darren had to have experienced a profound loss of his cousin. If family members talked about the case a lot, he can never escape that loss, just relive the loss often. And that is true, Aaron. And many of the family members that have reached out to me on cases that involves one of their missing loved ones, that's the same thing with them. They relive it every day, and then when they're discussing it, it's like reliving it multiple times that day. And many people just kind of clam up. They don't want to go through it again, and they just keep it inside and try to get through life. Some people do speak about it because they need that outlet to continue on. Some people it affects differently, but all in all, the majority of people are like that. They have to live through it every single day and talking.
Sometimes it's good for people to talk about loss and, mourning, a parent or something, and
Right.
some people do it differently than others do. And, I think it would be wonderful if that would happen, a conversation with Darren could take place. That would be wonderful.
I know we lost my dad a little over 3 years ago now, and Dad and I were close. He had health problems, but nobody saw this coming. And it was months before I could really get anything out about it, just kept it all inside. So when it's something like Randy's case, when the person is still missing, you don't have those answers. You can't imagine what they go through with that.
Oh, I could only imagine, you and I did talk. I've lost both my parents. My mother died when I was a senior. Then, my dad died back in 2012, 2013. And I wasn't even 40 years old yet when my dad passed away. And I could only imagine, the mourning, what people go through who can't find someone, when probably in your heart they're gone, but you can't have physical closure with burial and a place to go to see that person, at a cemetery, or if cremation, and it's unbelievable what pain they must feel, not to have that closure.
Still out there somewhere.
And especially thinking, I know the searches that have been done and people have done so much, but how heartening would it be to find out that he's just down the street, in a barn,
Right,
or in the creek, or, all these rumors and accusations and possible leads, or, whatnot.
Or somewhere that you pass by every single day on your way to work and they were right there. That would be very hard.
and what they would go through with that. Oh. And those Cheyenne here a while back ago, we mentioned on one of the videos, she had, after school, instead of riding the bus home, she decided to walk with some friends, and she ended up having to walk like 9 miles to get home. When the bus got here and she's not on the bus, we go to the school, she's not at the school, and just that half hour it took to find her, just the panic and the helplessness you feel going through this for 34 years. And some families even go longer than that with no answers. I don't know how they do it.
I don't know either. You have to have such a tough heart and soul to deal with it, and try to understand, and how to move on in life, but still not have that closure. And just like you or me, I can always go see my parents. I know where they're at.
Right.
But not knowing, that would just be terrible.
And when I've spoken with Alberta, what has seemed to have gotten her up every day is the fight to find Randy. And that's a mama for you.
That's exactly right.
I think Daddy would be ready to go out to fight somebody, and Mama just looking for her baby.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think the batteries in those died.
Okay. I was just making sure.
So we lost our fancy earpieces for the night.
Okay, there we go. Here. There you go.
Aaron, I'm going to speak up and say I'm right there with you. I am praying daily that God gives us the eyes to see and the wisdom to find exactly where he's at, so we can bring him home.
That's right.
Been done a long time ago.
Right.
We find Randy, we will have Flanagan's prints in Randy's car. Would not surprise me. 99% of the time, everything is always right under your nose.
Yeah.
And Leanne at Bobby, my POS brother, was buying drugs from Flanagan that night. We just had a situation with a guy in a black truck trying to snatch a little girl walking home from my daughter's school. That was my biggest concern, Dan. And we had just gotten a couple cases that involved little girls my daughter's age right before she done this.
Yeah. You told me.
Oh man, I can't imagine. We told them like the day after.
Oh. I mean, I get nervous, and my kids are 17 and 16. Or oh my goodness, my youngest is gonna shoot me for that one.
Yeah.
15 and 17, excuse me. And I still get nervous when they go on walks. And I mean, it doesn't matter what age. When you're a parent, no.
I think in today's age and time, back, like when, we were kids and stuff, you could go walk and play and not worry about it. I mean, stuff did happen. I mean, kids did get, stolen, picked up, nabbed, and taken. But I don't think it's like it is today, and I think, parents need to be more active in their children's life, even when they're up into their early 20s, and, try to teach them and be accountable with them and make them understand and learn that, just because this person seems nice, that doesn't mean they're not nice behind different doors, know, and need to know and understand, you just can't trust everybody these days. You just can't, believe nice and good, because they're not. It's just not like it used to be.
Yeah.
And, that's what's sad about today's life that we live in.
Yeah.
There's so many terrible things that happen to kids.
Yeah, because back when I was a kid, it was go outside and play. Don't want you in here. Do your homework. Go outside and play.
Yeah.
Come in when the lights turn on.
Yep.
Have supper. Take a shower. Go to bed.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And Bobby says that if anybody wants to contact him, he's on Facebook and Messenger. Craig asked if Flanagan was selling weed or the hard stuff. Leanne says he sold it all.
I was gonna say, yeah, he sold it all.
And Catfish gets to go fishing.
Rude.
If he gets the mowing done.
Buy a robo motor or mower. Oh, that's
I
the robot motor.
I
don't know about that.
Just hit the button, send it out.
Yeah. It'll miss a patch, and then I'll get mad at it and throw it away or something.
Hey, I can live with that because I didn't have to mow the rest of it.
Yeah, true.
Yep, Flanagan needs to be looked at more.
Yes.
Leanne, did Brandy know your brother? if he had seen your brother at Flanagan's, would he have tried to talk him out of buying drugs from Flanagan? And Bobby says, Alex, you can get my phone number from Dennis. I get that sent over to you.
I'll take his steak order.
There we go.
Yeah, Bobby he's amazing with his credentials and his background. He knows what he's talking about. He's a good kid.
He needs to come up here and go catfishing with me. And Ponytail is buffering.
Well, hang in there, honey.
You can't trust anyone these days, even if you know them forever, even family.
Right.
That's true.
We've had cases where it was family members take a kid and run off with them.
Yeah.
You know, I knew there was, I guess, evil people out there in the world. I didn't know to what extent until we really started looking into these cases.
Yep. Because now we can see something on TV. I know I do. Excuse me. About a missing child or something like that. And I look at it and I think, now that I know what can happen and what we've experienced with what we're doing, and I'm thinking they just don't know. I mean, it's like a slap in the face sometimes.
I believe you all having firsthand experience, you see this stuff on TV, you see but when you guys actually reaching out and talking to these people's parents or relatives, and hearing their sadness in their hearts and, everything that they go through. I mean, I can only imagine what you guys go through and how strong you all have to be to listen to these stories with these people, with them being upset and crying and explaining
we cry with them.
We cry with them. Alex,
I'm not too big to admit that.
The Alex Van Dassel case, that broke my heart. They've all broke my heart, but there's certain cases that you hear the connections or the story behind it, and you're literally in tears because you're thinking, how could this have happened? I mean, I can't explain it. It's unbelievable.
And you hear and you feel the sadness and the hurt from these families, but at the same time, you see and you feel the strength that they have fighting to find answers, fighting to find their loved ones.
Yep.
And some of the strongest people I've met through this are some of the ones that are hurting the most.
Yeah. I mean, I have so much respect for Leanne because, she's poured her heart out about this.
Yeah.
Especially on Jared's video, when she did her interview with him. And, I know she has a heavy heart and the burden of what she went through with all this.
Right.
Because it's not just one person or the immediate family. There was tons of people that were involved, and they lost people too because of what happened.
And Leanne, would your brother have had any reason to go up to your car where Randy was when Randy was? I believe she means when Randy was sitting in your vehicle there at the party.
I was trying to find the eclipse.
Uh-huh.
The clouds. It's too cloudy.
Did Chrissy have to go put more quarters in the machine?
No, they mentioned the Ponytail just came across and said, look outside real quick at the eclipse, but we have clouds right now, so I can't find the moon. So, sorry.
I'll have to be up till 5 o'clock again.
No. No.
I told her, I got off the phone about 4 o'clock in the morning. She said, I know, Megan told me. I thought Megan was asleep when I went in there.
We literally hung up the phone, got in bed, started talking, and then within 30 minutes, we were headed to Platte City to the new donut shop.
Were you really?
We did.
If I'd have known that, I would have went and got donuts.
There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah, we got home, and it was almost daylight.
6:30. Then we went to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see it, Craig, let me know. Craig's going to run outside and look at the eclipse.
Let me go look.
Yeah.
I'll go look.
If you can, Tammy, tell me what it looks like. Because I can't see it.
Do you know where the moon's at?
Are you talking to me or her?
Talking to her.
Both of y'all.
Both, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure she was looking up. I can say that while she's outside.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's amazing what we can say when they're not around.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And Alex, I just sent you over Bobby's phone number.
I got it. Thank you, sir. I'm going to go ahead and text him my fish order.
There you go. Well, I don't know. He commented just a bit ago that he doesn't know how to fish. He needs to come up here and we can teach him how to fish.
Oh.
Who said that?
Catfish.
Oh, jeez.
I can pretend to teach him how to fish while I learn from him.
Right.
Craig gone to get him a cold beer
And a moon pie.
Well, moon pie sounds good. I haven't had it about a year.
I know.
I know we have wondered why Randy got out of your car when he knew you were coming right back, just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Everybody else is trying. I got to try.
He's going to go try and find the moon. Remember, Alex said it's up.
Don't look to the north. It's probably not in the north sky. See it?
Oh, she did?
But it's cloudy. I mean, like it's like an orange moon.
It's like orange. She looks orange to her right now.
Oh, okay.
It's cloudy. It's you can
Cloudy, okay. Someone send Alex a kitty meal. Well, hello, puppy. Hello.
I seen it
Did you? Yeah, rub it in.
over here at the corner. If you look up kind of through the tree here,
Yeah.
you'll see it over there.
Okay. Tammy said she saw it. It's kind of orange.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to get up, bud. Come on. Okay, fine.
Leanne says that's the key to this whole situation. So why did Randy get out of the car?
Yeah.
Someone send Alex a kitty meal.
Yeah, I just told him that.
You want a cheeseburger or you want the 4-piece nuggets?
With the apple slices or the fries?
He didn't know he was coming on to get picked on.
I know, right?
Well, guys,
Yeah.
we're at 3 hours.
Yeah,
and 7
3-hour
minutes.
show. Nice.
That's the longest
Text
live feed we've
quiet.
done.
Yeah.
Well, it was definitely a good night.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely.
Lots of stuff, lots of people asking great questions and, making great, just information that, we can look at and think about and, examine and, see where it takes us again.
Right. Absolutely.
Leanne, is your brother willing to answer any questions about that night? And Leanne, I'd love a chance to speak with your brother. If you ever do talk to him, if you could run it by him, give him a phone number or something.
All right, go on.
I went out the backyard to look at the moon. Skunk in the yard. Lucky I didn't get sprayed.
There was a skunk out there?
Craig.
Oh, Craig. Oh, whoops.
Skunk get text. He will go out and get sprayed.
Yeah, he did get sprayed at one time, didn't he?
Oh, he's been sprayed 3 times now.
Ugh,
Oh gosh.
that was fun, wasn't it, bud?
And he come in looking so innocent too.
They got me.
Oh, we did.
But guys,
But, yeah.
I think we're gonna
Call it a night.
call it a night. And I'm going to give you two the same invite I gave Ricky earlier. You ever want to join us live on here again, just let us know. We'll bring you on.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us to be a part of it tonight.
Absolutely.
It was a great time. We'd love to do it again and, talk about things and share ideas and,
Absolutely.
and just, let's bring Randy home.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Quinn.
And if Catfish doesn't provide any fish, I say we go get our own, have fish fry.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, guys.
Thanks for coming on. For the rest of you, if you haven't, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share the content, help keep these cases out in the public. And until next time, you guys stay safe and let's bring these people home.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.